Welcome to your favorite drive-in theater and a sparkling new season. Watch our screen and local newspapers for all the fine shows coming this way. Show after show will feature the latest hits, the biggest stars for fun-filled, pleasure-packed evenings. Relax, come as you are, and spend an enjoyable night out with the entire family. No parking problems, no babysitting problems. And there are always tasty snacks at our modern refreshment stand.
Thanks, folks. And once again, welcome.
I say there are things better left unsolved.
Who knows what waits for us in nature's no man's land?
Impossible, unbelievable, fantastic. But I tell you, it could happen. It could happen. It could happen. It could happen.
Yes, it could happen. For various authorities believe that buried somewhere under the polar ice cap, in a state of suspended animation, are the awesome creatures, the leviathans that roamed the earth at the dawn of time. And under certain conditions, a nuclear explosion could free one from his icy tomb. Then, guided by instinct, the beast would come back to the caverns of the deepest Atlantic where it was spawned. An armored giant, wreaking his prehistoric fury on modern man and his puny machines. Cities would be terrorized by the cruel intruder from the past. Populations crazed and panicked with fear.
Incredible it may seem, but today, in 20th century America, there still exist the evil ones who call upon the black arts of Satan to bring back the spirits of the dead.
Once you have accepted the possibility of everything, then we'll bring your sister back.
Then, guided by instinct, the beast would come back to the caverns of the deepest Atlantic where it was spawned. An armored giant, wreaking his prehistoric fury on modern man. And
Loaded, I can fire it. I'll load it. Just remember one thing. This is the only isotope of its kind this side of Oak Ridge, so you can't miss.
Incredible it may seem, but today, in 20th century America, there still exist the evil ones who call upon the black arts of Satan to bring back the spirit
Then we'll bring your sister back. But once you're no turning back.
her husband.
I've come back to you.
She's been dead for 6 years. I don't want her back. Not this way.
Her mother.
You want to go on living a useful, happy life. I'm warning you to go away and do not come back.
I'm not afraid of you.
Even her sister. For Felicia had stood in her evil path.
You are cordially invited.
It came from the public domain.
A nightmare of terror.
A 100-foot spider.
To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's
Whoa. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Sorry about any weird internet issues going on. I have no idea what that's about. My connection looks good. I got no idea. Sorry, I'm not exactly a tech demon. Anyway, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me in the illustrious break room at the last video store on Earth for a thrilling installment of It Came from the Public Domain. Yeah, I got a lot of yous over in chat there, Night Fang and Coco Mallow and Iron Fox. A lot of you saying you're experiencing some buffering and lag. I'm sorry about that. I really don't know what's going on, and I hope it rectifies itself. Let's see. I don't know if I can read your name, Mangled Soul. Yes, I am indeed that Lucy, last time I checked. Really glad to have you here. Hello. Boy, oh boy, folks, we got a doozy lined up tonight. Before I go in to start talking about the movie, I'd like to introduce my illustrious, wonderful co-host who sent most of you here in the first place. Come on, everybody. You know him. You love him. He's the silky, smooth, sultry voiced Nick Nocturne. Come out and say hi.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Lucy, for having me. You know, we were discussing earlier about whether or not there would be weird hiccups due to having two demonic entities in the same area at the same time. It's kind of been touch and go with that whenever I've hung out with somebody else who's back from home. But yeah, I guess there was some turbulence. But the plane is sailing through the sky just fine now. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming on over here to my first visit to the last video store on Earth.
Oh, it sounds so good when you say it. I love that shit. Oh, my God.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here, and I am honored. I am honored to be invited to a horror hosting gig. I feel amazing. I mean, I'm always the weird version of it that I am doing my online thing, but to do the traditional thing with somebody who's always about doing the whole span of the tradition, I'm tickled pink.
Well, no, I don't know about all that. You don't look very pink to me. You got more of a purple, Dorian Gray or whatever his name is, Christian Gray. Dorian's the guy in the book. Oh my God, I don't read. I'm not a friggin' nerd. I don't read. But you say you're honored to be here. I kind of threw that message to you, inviting you to come on as like almost a lark. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. He's a very, very busy demon. There's no way this is going to work out right. So I was kind of chuffed, if I may, when you agreed to come on. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. It's very sweet of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love what you're doing. I'm about it.
Now, I got a little bit of a riddle for you here, Nick. Something to warm your mind up a little bit before we promptly start killing those brain cells. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I'm not sure if you know this or not, but humans are like a really diverse group. So much so that you could meet 100 people and there's a chance that none of them would ever be in the same place at the same time. But where is the one place that every human will go at least once in their pitifully short existence?
The bathroom.
Oh, shit. I didn't think of that. Yes, I guess you're technically correct, which in the mind of a bureaucrat is the best kind of correct. But the answer I had in mind was the cemetery. Yeah,
one of my favorite places.
Yeah, they're wonderful, right? They're so peaceful and charming, and you got the funny epitaphs like the Richard Brake stepped on the gas instead of the brake. I always like that one. But yeah, did you know also that there are over 144,000 cemeteries scattered across the United States? I sure didn't, at least until Google told me. They cover a combined 2 million acres of United States soil and are a site for mourning, rest, and in the case of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery right down the road in L.A., Andre 3000's experimental flute album, which is not a bit. He did do a full performance of his what is it? New Blue Sun, I think is the name of the album. He did a full performance in the Masonic Lodge in the Hollywood Forever Theater. Very weird kind of thing.
Wait a minute, in the Masonic Lodge?
I was
just thinking, okay, all right, experimental musician thing, right up until you said in the Masonic Lodge. It's like,
yeah, he's not beating the Illuminati accusations. I'm sorry. I love you, Andre 3K, but it's not working out like that. But talk about a show, right? And in true human fashion, you've even got to pay for the privilege of getting covered in dirt. Like in LA County, the average cost for a burial plot is anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000, and that's just for the hole in the ground. That's not counting the funeral, the casket, mortuary services, hearse transportation, the charcuterie board, all of the post-death nickel and dimings laid out by the industrialization of death. As bleak as that might sound, you really got to give a shout out to the entrepreneurial spirit of the humankind, because they found a way to monetize the most frightening thing anyone ever goes through.
Well, those in Los Angeles probably want to make sure that the rest of your existence, even not in the body, is just as expensive and unfair as it was to be alive in Los Angeles.
Oh, totally. You got to pay like $40 to park at the mall. It's crazy.
Bah.
Yeah, it's wild, but they got some good stuff. Mangle, yes, you are so right. Forever sleep is very expensive, so save up, everybody. Put that money to work. Now, Nick, I know all of this talk about human fear, suffering, and cease of life function probably has you feeling all kinds of little butterflies in your snatched little stomach over there. But at the same time,
I'm trying to hide my excitement. I gotta be professional. But we know our thing.
Sorry. Okay. Anyway, at the same time, you may be asking, why is Lucy going on and on about cemeteries and the death industry? You may not be asking that, actually. It's kind of on brand. But I am so glad that you asked that hypothetical question that I made up in my mind.
Yes, I did. Absolutely hypothetically, I did ask that question.
Yep, all for the sake of exposition, too. You're really good. I bring all that up because tonight's movie is I Bury the Living. Now, have you ever seen this movie before?
I have not seen this one. I have not heard of this one either.
Oh, buddy, you're in for a treat. This is actually one of the first, like, black and white public domain horror movies I ever watched. I had it on a 100+ horror movie DVD. It was all a bunch of these public domain flicks, and a lot of them, if you've been around my streams for a while, you know a lot of them are not very good. But this one is actually pretty awesome, all things considered. It's one of the ones that sparked my love for quirky black and white horror movies in the first place, and it was released in 1958 by United Artists. This company was founded in we do a little bit of history here for those of you who don't know.
My people are so used to.
Yeah, that's right. You do be kind of talky, huh? Yeah.
I do be kind of geek. I do. I admit we get a little bit academic sometimes.
He got all close. I don't get see, I can't even say it. I don't get academic. I just don't ever shut up. But as I was saying, United Artists, right? It was founded in 1919 by a quartet of early Hollywood powerhouses. That was Douglas Fairbanks, who was the star of like countless silent swashbuckling movies. Probably most famously would be like The Mask of Zorro, Robin Hood, and The Thief of Baghdad. There was Canadian starlet Mary Pickford, who was in a movie called Daddy Longlegs, and as not Nicolas Cage Longlegs, which was awesome, but Daddy Longlegs, a movie from like the 20s. She often got cast as like young children because she had a very like puckish look about her. And then who else founded it here? That would have been D.W. Griffith, who was a director, and unfortunately directed one of the first quote-unquote modern motion pictures of American history, which was A Birth of a Nation, which we don't need to talk about. Very, very troubling movie. If you don't know, maybe don't Google it, but it's a bad time. And then Charlie Chaplin, who needs no further explanation, really. So these are the people who founded United Artists, and they put it together because all of the established movie studios at the time were like taking a lot of control away from their talent and trying to like dictate their whole careers. So they started their own company to make their own movies. And they only created a few like truly memorable films of this era. They had Vincent Price's The Bat, which just turned like 70 years old today, I think. I think today is the release date anniversary, funny enough. And they also distributed the Bela Lugosi movie White Zombie, which went on to inspire Rob Zombie to make like the greatest heavy metal band of all time, but that's whatever. But by the time we hit the modern era, they would go on to do a ton of like your good old-fashioned video store classics. They put out that 70s remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They were behind that. They did Carrie, Poltergeist, Child's Play, Pumpkinhead, Jeepers Creepers, and everyone's favorite meta horror commentary, The Cabin in the Woods.
Hey.
Yeah, so they still are around. I believe that I think Tom Cruise owns a very big stake in the company nowadays, which is very, very weird. But so again, before we get too much farther, I want to thank you once again for showing up. And since you showed up, and since, as we've talked about, I've been a very big fan of yours for a very long time, I knew I had to pull out all the stops to try and impress you and show you that I, too, am a serious motherfucking creator over here. So what I did was I opened up the phone book, my phone, and I found, I looked around for experts in our field for tonight. And I happened to come across one, and I thought it would be very cool to ask him some questions about cemeteries and all that stuff before we get into the film. So, everybody, let me go on and introduce our good friend, cemetery expert, Spooky Weaselbones. Spooky!
Hey, what? Oh, hey. Your Honor, if it pleases the court, although I will admit the Rolexes were counterfeit, the boxes they came in were genuine, so I don't know if that counts at all. Is this the right call?
Oh, no, this is not your deposition. Don't worry. I got you.
See, all I put in my Google Calendar is reason I'm firing my agent. So I guess that just works either way.
Oh, man. So, Spooky, as I understand it, you're a cemetery expert.
Yep.
That's awesome. First off, before I ask any of the harder hitting questions, how do you become a cemetery expert? Is there a program? Do you go to a college for that? What's that look like?
Good question. So I'm not saying that this is how I did it, but one way that you could do it is that you could be filling out a form and you think you're getting tickets to a monster truck rally. So you just mark the box that says gravedigger. And then you start getting all kinds of weird stuff in the mail. And then you're an expert.
Oh, I got to get on that. Email me that form.
Too.
Email me that form. That's pretty good.
Honestly, I don't have a lot of time usually. And they say to never make something that you love into your job. But maybe I've got some room. I've done it before, and it's worked out pretty well for me. And I can't stay away from graveyards. I literally have one surrounding where I live currently. So I think I should just level up. I should do it. Please, if you could copy that form over, I'll leave you details later to where to send that.
Sure. And if they ever send those tickets, you save me a spot.
You got it.
Oh yeah, bro. The way the seats rattle, it's awesome. We should go to a monster truck pull. That would be really fun. I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. In this film, the cemetery maintains a ledger of claimed plots on a map. We'll talk about the film in a minute, guys. But what are some other ways a cemetery may keep track of which ones are, let's say, occupied?
Oh, good question. So what you're going to see in a movie tonight is pretty outdated. What you tend to do now to keep track of where the stiffs are in your cemetery is that the whole cemetery is alphabetized. So they just lay them out, A, B, C, D, and so on. And of course, when someone dies who's in between, you don't get your Zemeckis or your Anderson every time. They have to reshuffle the whole bunch. And if you pay extra, they move your body along with the headstone. So it's pretty good.
Whoa. So where's the primo spot? I just thought of this question right now. Where's the primo spot in the graveyard? Do you want to be towards the front, towards the back? Is there a hot dog cart? What do they do? Where's the primo locale?
Well, the kind of the secret menu option is that they can tie your body to the fan blades of a windmill, and then you're just spinning around the whole time, and that's better than fame, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, that's that's pretty good. Okay, hang on. No, I'm professional. I'm serious.
Hey, who isn't?
Yeah, we're all very, very serious people.
Is that where we get the expression "death on the wind"?
Whoa! Oh my God! Shut up!
You friggin' got me.
I'm being academic.
Okay, the kayfabe is back on.
Oh yeah.
The persona is adapted. All right, let's go,
brother. Let me tell you a thing or two about kayfabe. Oh wait, I'm crossing my streams. Okay, in my research. I learned that there's a whole sales industry around death. Nick and I were just talking about this. Funerals, burials, the whole deal. Capitalism really got these humans all kinds of fucked up, huh? Even with caskets, they have all these extra luxury options, like lining the lining that the lining that the body lays on, colors and materials of the casket, everything. Ultimately, it's a box for a human meat shell, right? Are all those bells and whistles really necessary?
Yeah, good question. So something that I noticed your research did not turn up, and this is the new big trend here, is the designer dirt. Something that our celebrities and our VIPs tend to really like is ground up diamonds in the dirt, or caviar is a popular option. So there's always room. There's another market to slice out, no matter where you look.
It sounds a little bit Egyptian.
Oh, very much.
Not exactly taking the belongings with you, but converting the belongings, which is very
the only
American.
difference is, it's Egyptian and American. It's very much like falafel with a hamburger meat on it. But the difference is that if you come to take my golden sandals,
in Minecraft, I think. But isn't that the American experience, the molding of cultures? We are truly a melting pot. as much as other people might not want us to be. We'll not talk
we
about
do,
that.
yeah.
right now.
We like to melt things, just like people are always trying to melt the golden sandals in my tomb. It's
Well, you
bullshit.
gotta-
Cradle to the grave, right?
You got to get better security around your tomb, buddy. I got some guys you can call. I did have to shout out. I saw a comment somewhere where you're getting highlighted. Hold on. Dame Dumbala, summon the comment. There it is. The bells are just in case, like when they used to bury people prematurely, and they had to ring a to get out. That was one of my favorite ghost stories as a young little baby.
Yeah. Bells. I like bells. You know, bells. They're classic. They're kind of quaint, but I'm gonna get the horn from Dukes of Hazzard.
He's gonna be blowing Dixie from beyond the grave. Wow.
You know what? See, that's an opportunity for people nowadays when it comes to the death experience and all the many items that you could put on there. Nowadays, you could go ahead and easily offer a little speaker above your grave that, if you so happen to be alive, you tug on the string or you press a button, it'll play your favorite TikTok noise. That way, everybody will know it's absolutely you. It's customized. Why does everybody have to have a bell? Why can't they have that shot noise or the latest meme? Why not a hookta on that thing? If you're still alive down there.
Hey, the kid's a natural.
I'm telling you, you got to get this guy in the marketing department. Demons were naturally good at it. I'm going to start charging people. I'm going to start charging people $8.50 to have check it out on their graveyard thing. That'll be kind of cool.
There you go, Lucy. There's an opportunity.
See, look, it's all about making money while you're making money. You see what I'm talking about here? Okay, but I got one more question here for you, Spooky, and then we'll start talking about the movie. Okay, you guys sold me. You sold me. I understand. Caskets do need all the luxury bells and whistles and all the fun stuff. I'm totally on board. I'm here. I'm going to go on Amazon and order mine right after we get done doing this. Why don't we pretend that Nick and I are hapless mortals and we are soon to be in need of a couple of caskets? Give us your sales pitch for what you would sell for me as a casket and for Nick as a casket. I'm dying to know. Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. It's also a good lead into today's sponsor, Casker. Casker will send you new high-quality coffins every month. Nothing can stop them, and no one is coming to save you. Cancel anytime after death. Casker. Use code Weaselbones20 to get your last coffin first. I don't know what that means.
Oh, boy, he weaseled that in there, but I respect the grind.
Salute.
Salute on that grind.
You did not say weasel. Oh, man. Okay. All right. I got to get academic and talk about this. Oh, my God. I broke my eyebrow. Hold on.
It's no worries. You know, people do say some unkind things about weasels from time to time, but it's nothing compared to what they do with various words for cat.
That's true. Yeah.
Sometimes
there's just no respect out there.
No respect at all. Thank you. You got a better Rodney Dangerfield than I do. Mine's like this. Whoa, I'm Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, my wife. That's my Rodney Dangerfield.
Can I hear your Christopher Walken? Oh, can I guess? Does it go like, oh, I'm Christopher Walken?
That's a really good impression of Lucy Ball doing Christopher Walken. That's crazy. How long did you practice that?
I'm bad.
Yeah, I got a million of them. Whoa, I'm Pee Wee Hoyman. This is my crazy playhouse. I got a million of them, buddy. I'm kind of a natural. Okay, we're here for a purpose. I know I'm lying. I lured them here so we could just hang out. But we're here under the pretext of a purpose, and that is to watch a movie, which hopefully doesn't buffer out and go crazy like my intro sequence did. We'll find out. Find out now on this thrilling episode of It Came from the Public Domain. But the movie tonight, as we've talked about ad nauseum, is I Bury the Living. Now, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on here. It's a movie about a man named Robert Kraft, who has recently been appointed as the chairman of the committee that oversees, that's some bureaucracy for you, the chairman of the committee which oversees the Immortal Hills Cemetery. He has his own retail business that he's more concerned with, so he's not exactly thrilled about this new responsibility. While getting the lay of the land, the cemetery groundskeeper shows him an intricate map of the plots available in their boneyard with little white pins marking the spots reserved by a living customer and black pins marking the, we'll call them occupied plots. Imagine Mr. Kraft's shock and terror when it appears that placing a black pin on the plot of a living person causes them to drop dead.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
kids today would call that, wow, just like Death Note. Wow. See, Zoomers. See, well, that shows how out of touch I am. What Zoomer today talks about Death Note?
What's Death Note? Is that some sort of note on the scale that makes you die?
You know those Japanese cartoons?
Oh,
yeah,
Goonas,
those Japanese
Goonas.
cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah. The Japanimation, as they say.
The Japanimation. Yeah, the Toonami. The kids.
Yeah. Anybody remember 1994? Okay, guys. Like I said, we're going to watch a movie, and don't worry, we're going to talk over it. So, it's going to be fine. But that's it. Tonight's movie is 1958's I Bury the Living, and let's get into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just got to cue my movie up here since everything died on me.
Yep. And I'm gonna hit you with a solid quick as this is happening. Something that happens over on Twitch sometimes is a raid, and we do have some raiders over here from Graphic Auto. So welcome, Graphic Auto raiders. Go on, get into your seats. Thanks for joining.
Wow, I've never been raided. I feel like a monastery with a bunch of Vikings. This is crazy. So, welcome aboard, everyone. I'm a terrible host. I'm more here to watch a movie. I'm learning. But hey, thank you for coming by. Hop in the chat, say hello. Graphic Auto, what's up? I follow you on Twitter. If that's not what they call it anymore, but I do.
We still do.
But Scored, you're so right. There's nothing like that crushed, compressed sound of these old movies. It's awesome.
It just feels good to the soul.
You know, I think Hans Zimmer ripped this off when he wrote blarp, blarp, bleep, blop, bloop.
Oh, I was always really into Hans Zimmer's ba-da-ba-da, bum-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I love that one. That one goes hard.
Well, it's public domain. Anything's up for grabs.
I'm telling you.
Well, it's just like, what movie? that's silly. Come on, I don't.
Oh, look, he was blushing.
Oh, you know what? I like this shot pulling out.
Oh yeah.
What does it mean if the public domain score
powers, which go beyond the boundaries of the natural? This is the story of one confronted by such strange forces within himself.
That would be a great vocal chop in a house song, then you just go booch, booch, booch. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it.
I apologize for talking over you there. I'm about to get ripped in half by your fans, I imagine.
No, don't worry.
But it would make for good TV, so maybe keep doing it and see if they do it.
That's true. And then we get to have some really good stop motion animation of me getting put back together.
I'm so here for it. Somebody get Phil Tippett on the phone.
Hey, you should be lucky I'm not a dog, right?
He's like picking up the phone like, hello? Who?
Who's there? Who am I talking to? Who's there?
Oh, I have to remember that my mouth moves when I laugh. It happens sometimes when most of your communication is telepathic. You forget.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
Treasurer, your Uncle George, Secretary, and of course Mr. Trowbridge and Mr. Bates.
Hey, don't forget. Put your haggis all over your belt colony for Christmas.
You're a child of the world, Spooky Weaselbones. This is incredible.
So many of these old movies, I swear, they literally didn't know what they were doing for the accent. They only picked up what they heard, and you got this mishmash of things, and it's like, it's supposed to be this. The audience overseas here said, they're like, what do they think they sound like?
Yeah, as I watched this movie getting ready for tonight, I was like, so I know he's like supposed to be Scotch or Irish or something, but he sounds Eastern European at the same time.
Right, he's a combination of Scotty and Chekhov.
Whoa! And this was before Star Trek came out. Whoa, he was ahead of the curve.
Here you go.
Night Fang, I'm very sorry. I do not have subtitles available for this picture. This is the trouble with my Internet Archive obtained public domain films.
I can just repeat everything he says in my equally incomprehensible accent.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's not about the dialogue, it's about the vibes.
It is about the vibes.
Anyone in mind to replace her? Oh, I hadn't
The
given it
classic
much thought, but,
fractal pattern of death.
There must be plenty of...
It is an interesting pattern for that graveyard. The two large spirals.
Yeah, I too design graveyards every time I drop acid. I get it.
I think that's where they buried Fibonacci.
Whoa! The one and only.
There are, at any given time, there are either 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, or 15 Fibonacci. Those aren't the real numbers, but those of you who understand the content of my soul get the joke.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. You started saying numbers, and I totally tuned out. I'm not gonna lie.
You got a little bit of a spiraling going on behind you, so I trust you with familiarity with spirals.
If you zoom out, it's my fingerprints.
Oh, see, I was just getting. I just had this thought entering my brain that was, give Spooky Weaselbones all your money. Give Spooky Weaselbones all your money.
All marriages may be conservative. How about it, Mrs. D? Can I
You
carry
got
you
a
over
couple
the
who
bedroom?
just got married driving through the graveyard? Is that kind of a bad idea?
I think it's a wonderful honeymoon.
I mean, it's where I take my guy, but, you know, not
You know,
everybody's like us.
That's true. Yeah, you could say they not like us. I'm topical.
There
I'm
you
topical.
go.
I'm
See?
topical a month ago. Yeah.
See, this is how we stay in it.
One of the provisions was that myself and my wife...
On the subject of portensions of death in dating, this is a real story from my dad. My dad had a high school sweetheart, and he was listening to Gordon Lightfoot's death or what is Song of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and he just likes the guitars, right? So he says to his date, "Hey, you know, this could be our song," and she replies, "You want our song to be a song about a sinking ship?" real shit.
That's very good.
You gotta listen to lyrics.
And also, when I got married, the first thing I did was go and buy a cemetery plot. So I get it, you know.
Boom.
Yeah. Future planning.
But for those of you who might care, that kid was coming because his father's will or trust fund or something dictated he had to buy a cemetery plot before he could get the trust fund.
I would say, sure, Pops, go ahead and make me do that, but you're going to be the one climbing in there.
I'll buy it for you. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a regifter. Bad Weaselbones.
It's the last gift you'll ever need. Oh.
See,
is he gonna... No, did he mess it up already?
See, Scorn, I bet you listen to The Cure, huh? The thought of buying a cemetery plot after getting married, kind of romantic. Yeah, and you got to listen to Just Like Heaven while you do it.
To announce the appointment of Robert Kraft, President
Plastic.
of Kraft Department. Now, George, don't shush me. You railroaded me into this. Now, wait a minute.
I love the way men used to talk to each other. George, don't you shush me.
Nobody refuses to take the chairmanship.
Now listen here, Buckaroo.
There was no such thing as hesitation, just straight to the point. Now listen, see?
Now, you listen to me here. I'm going to take my 3 nickels and I'm going to go get a Frankfurter, and there's nothing you can do about it.
One good reason
I got exactly 12 words in me for pleasantries, then everything else is business.
Man.
If I don't say the Gettysburg Address in 45 seconds, then Saw is going to kill me.
Of course I can.
Oh, that's a pretty good saw trap. I'd be dead.
Particularly for us.
And say, Fortnite and 7 beers ago, that's whatever.
Without the consent of Major League Baseball.
Father and your father served on every community project, board, and committee that was ever created. They serve for free.
And Goth Fox, living up to your name there. Buying a joint grave is actually a pretty good way to show that you're planning on committing till death. I do, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
A lot of respect from
It
our
is
customers.
romantic,
And another
honestly.
thing.
Now listen, when I took over the jowliness department, I promised to run it the way your father would have run it.
You realize you're talking about only a few hours a month at the most? McKee, the
I wonder what he's hiding in his...
All you do is show up once a week and sign the checks. Proceed, Henry.
I don't make men like this anymore. Except
Yeah,
for-
back when we were a proper country.
Men used to come with saddlebags.
Yeah, where's my tone indicator? I need a /S after that.
Faithfully and completely, to the utmost of your abilities.
I do.
Seriously, what is he hiding in those cheeks?
I think some fatback and maybe a little bit of... No, wait. Oh, so fatback does count. This was the 50s. Probably some bologna. No condiments, though. That's for
Good
communists.
old-fashioned force meat.
Delicious.
Here's what happens
Rib
when
tips
you
over
jaw
here.
hold.
Kansas style barbecue sauce over here.
Yeah, that's what they call a Missouri sandwich. You make it in your mouth.
Well, hello. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Watson.
Elf Geek, thank you very much. We try very hard to cultivate a wonderful vibe. But, I do think this whole scene sort of demonstrates that this movie is ahead of its time in a way. Because,
I'll take care of it.
let me put on my internet movie guy hat right there.
All right, Malton, give it to us.
So, if you think about it, Robert Kraft could represent a put-upon millennial, right? He has his own thing he's trying to do. He's got a successful retail business that he's more concerned with running. But his family has always been the chair people of this cemetery. And he is foisted into that decision, not by any volition of his own, but because it's what you're supposed to do.
See, his dad thinks he had the noodle dream. That was Kung Fu Panda for the younger.
Okay. That one kind of flew right over my head. All I remember from Kung Fu Panda is quit, don't quit, noodle.
All I remember from Kung Fu Panda is thinking Po needs to gain 40 pounds and then I can be his husband.
Oh, the characteristic look on this guy. The big hat, the glasses, the big old trench coat all the way down to the floor. And the cigarette, there it is. There it is. That completes the look. That's a costume now.
I think they'll just kill you if you smoke a cigarette in movies now, if it's not like an indie film,
Must have picked up the wrong color.
Or Trailer Park Boys. You get by with it in Trailer Park Boys.
Nothing. It's just a little weird. That's all.
The only missing part of his uniform is that it's just constantly raining wherever he is.
Oh,
yeah, he would fit right in a noir picture. Yeah.
Was complying with
it was a hard rain, see?
And it was all very
It was a hard rain and hotter women. Dude, we're cooking. Somebody get a writer's room around here right now. Give me a piece of paper. Give me a piece of paper, 4 beers, and some papas. We'll have a movie by the time it's over.
Okay, so
at some point, someone has to go, no, damn it, no! Unless...
No, you don't understand!
Take the third act and put it before the first!
I think you can tell by the way you and I talk spooky that we have watched a lot of these movies.
Yeah, no, I will confess to having gone to the Studio Binder School of Film.
Be sure he stays away from the west slope. Between the
What's on the west slope?
Indeed, I will, sir.
Hi,
and off he goes after dropping exposition.
Yeah.
I know a nice
and that's a luncheon date? A luncheon? They have luncheons at churches now, and that's it.
Told me about Bess and Stuart, and I just had to see you. Made me think how lucky we are just to be alive and together.
Oh,
and to inherit a graveyard.
It's what I've always dreamed of ever since I was a little creepy girl.
Is this the end of the Wednesday Adam pipeline? You actually go complete reverse, but you keep your interest.
Have you ever seen the Addams Family musical? Wicked sidebar.
No.
When you're an Addams, you gotta have a little moonlight.
Yeah. Oh my God! No. Oh whoa! Internet. See, we were cooking too hard with the Addams Family musical.
Warner Media Group stepped in and said, "No, no."
Yeah. The conceit of the Addams Family musical is that Wednesday is tired of being an Addams, and she meets. Oh God, we're dying again. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Okay. But yeah, the conceit is she's tired of being an Addams, and she meets like a normal ass guy and tries to get married with him. It's a fun little musical, except none of the characters act like the characters.
No, I mean that's kind
Or
of
they-
a problem with an Addams property.
Or they all do until they don't, I guess is a better way to say it.
Ooh. Well, I do love me some Nathan Lane.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The whole thing's going crazy.
We regret the management. does
Somebody
not really
moved a
change
pin
as
on
once
the movie.
merchandise has been purchased.
Oh, hi, audience.
Oh no, Lucy! Somebody moved the pin on Lucy, Spooky! No!
Spam emojis in chats if you have that strange kind of set adrift feeling when the host, like the reason you're there, disappears.
I knew it couldn't be that easy. Oh, good. Welcome back. Did you see your light flash before your eyes?
I saw so many things.
That was bad. Lucy, people were about to figure out how alienating and uncomfortable I am when not supported.
That's why we get along. Oh, God. Well, yeah. Let's see if we can get back to where we were, folks.
Right.
Tactical I swear to God, this never happens. Oh, no.
I believe if it helps, where we left off,
they're just one too high temperature away from everything goes up in flames.
If it helps you find where you were, it was a fraught mixture of dead air and exposition. So,
sweet. We'll scrub. Oh, here we are.
That works, yeah. And yeah, as Anky Doodle says, what's a Twitch stream without a little scuff? It's a tradition around here, Lucy, honestly.
Well, I'll take it. This is me earning my stripes, I guess.
It is. No, legitimately, it is. People have entire model debuts in which things just all of a sudden break. I've watched a debut recently in which the internet froze and collapsed entirely. It happens.
Man. See, this is why I just post stupid little videos on the internet. It's so much easier.
That's what people don't understand. I keep trying to tell them. This side of the life is so painful compared to just uploading the shit that you know. You make the thing, you put out the thing, you trust the thing. It's a happy existence.
Well, I can't even compare. You do what, like 3-hour videos and shit? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I got 3 minutes in me if I'm lucky.
Hey, it's all right. We all start a little bit at a time. Soon you'll be 6 minutes, 9 minutes. Then you'll be a stud working at 3 hours.
And then I'll have alienated my whole viewer base.
No, then you'll have gained the Nightline viewer base. You'll just switch over.
Oh, got it. I'll steal yours from you. Great. Oh, this is my bag. I can do that.
Hey, Bobby.
There you go. I'll hang it up. You take over. It's all right.
Yeah. It's a proverbial passing of the torch. I'll stick it on my head to complete the Baphomet image we got going on here.
There we go.
Oh, and I think someone called you out. Nick, are you saying you're a stud?
Found your replacement.
I will if they won't. I mean, whatever.
Do I have to say it when you guys tell me every other stream?
Oh, cold out.
Thank you, Lizzie. Oh,
cold
thank
out.
you.
Sex bomb. He's a sex bomb.
Whoa.
And he can give it to you when you need to come along.
Whoa, man, we gotta cut a demo, Spooky. That's some good shit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going on title. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna sing me some Diana Ross.
Let's take off your coat.
Whoa,
You'll be
nice.
getting overheated.
This is an interesting little outbuilding that they've got. Like, it seems like the walls are all stone.
Yeah, and they keep talking about how ice cold it is in there. That can't be anything.
Oh, they smell a wee bit sickly.
Aside from the fact that it's cooler than being cool. More references for the older millennials.
Oh my God. All right. That's the second Andre 3000 reference for this stream.
Wow.
We're on a record.
Wow.
William
Asham. For W. Asham.
Oh, Asham of the Pennsylvania Ashams?
I guess I'm going to have to be the one to say it. Asham. I heard know him.
Ah, God.
I went to the map. Just after we
Sorry,
got the news.
it's a compulsion. I can't
Change
help it.
Willisham's been to black.
Oh, it's okay.
It was already black.
You didn't break anything.
Not yet. What was that weird pink thing over there? That was crazy.
With that map.
Spicy.
Changing pen colors without human assistance, no less.
Hello.
Without human assistance.
I have to say the way that text faded in and out just now. Mwah. Workmanship.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. I love my opacity tool.
Gotta say, the way that you're able to bring up highlighted messages in chat is something I do not see anywhere. I do not even know how to do that. So you've already got a showman trick that none of us in the VTuber circuit possess.
StreamYard, baby, StreamYard. I'm too cheap to pay for Pro.
Coincidence is a part of everyday life.
Make them earn it. You gotta be woo.
Oh, I'd love to be wood.
My favorite things. Strolling through the graveyard.
Sorry, you gave me the sunny in. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
I throw garbage all over the ring.
Start eating trash.
Start eating the trash. Somebody throw me in the trash.
Well, nothing, but I've been through all this before.
You know, somebody said it in chat earlier. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one of you said it. There's a lot more of you than there normally are. But
never knew what it was.
somebody pointed out. No, I don't think it was in chat, actually. I think it was on my Twitter feed. But this movie feels like a very long Twilight Zone episode. And it's one of the things that makes me like it so much. It's this cool reality, unreality thing they got going on.
Every other week.
It's moving very fast in terms of story, and it's set up similarly. We
Yeah,
have
it-
the establishing situation. Life is a little bit turned upside down in terms of what the character's actually doing. Immediately, the mystery is unfolding.
Character actors are keeping their SAG pension.
I don't think they had SAG back then. I think they worked for cigarettes and sandwiches at this point.
There are many actors who have attested to such.
What's your Roth IRA up to? Oh, about approximately 5,000 Marlboros.
Oh, you could get the sleeping bag from the Marlboro Adventure Club for that. That's another one for. I guess you'd have to be older than Elder Millennial for the Marlboro Adventure Club. But
The Marlboro Adventure Club?
yeah, you basically sent in the packs of cigarettes, and they would send you, like, depending on how many packs of cigarettes you proved you bought, you could get T-shirts and very cool jackets and sleeping bags.
And I put a black pin in its place.
Oh, they used
That
to
kind of
run
thing that
straight
the
to
Sheen has
White
become.
The old man it belonged to died during the week.
No, you're good.
Crosstalk is the name of the game here, guys.
All right.
That dude's laugh.
Wah, 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 wah. He could be the penguin.
You don't really believe that?
Night Fang, you kind of got it right there. What's under his fold of neck fat? I am sandwich and a half-lit cigarette. I hope so. I'm kind of peckish, and I could use a smoke, honestly.
You want to know who? You want to know what's under the neck fold? Watch the credits.
Oh, I think I'll just take a run out to the cemetery.
Yeah, that's how they set up the extended cinematic universe.
Trying to find some way to wipe out our competition for years.
I show up at the end wearing an eye patch, like, who wants hot dogs?
And then you get the banana. But wait, that's Austin Powers. Hang on. Hold on.
Spooky Weaselbones will return.
Whoa. Yeah, now that's a Doctor Who ending for you right there. Spooky Weaselbones returns this Christmas.
Yeah, it's a great way to make the audience go, Jesus!
All right.
He's the fourth Spooky Weaselbones, actually.
There's a grain of truth to that. Okay, so part of for the one or two people who will go to my Instagram channel after this, the reason I have two different puppets is because two different people made it for me, and I can't break parts, so I use both of them.
Whoa! We got through the first chunk of the movie. It only crashed once.
Woo! You are having a successful Twitch stream.
I certainly am trying to. I tell you,
No, don't worry. You're earning your wings. You really are.
I'm pulling myself up by my tiny little hoof straps. But you could say that things are not going too well for Mr. Bobby Kraft right now. Since we were talking over the whole of that piece of the film, in case you didn't notice, he's been pushed into a job he didn't really want to take because of family traditions. On top of that, people have just started dying. Excuse me. People have just started dying. You know, I was thinking as we were going through this might be the only job where things are better when your customers start to die. You know, like think about it. Like if you worked at like at Wendy's as some kind of what do they call them? Grill technician?
Burger slave.
Oh, I was thinking lunch engineer, maybe hamburger smith. But either way, if you took one of those fine jobs and right into your first day, all of your shoppers started dropping dead right after rendering your services, they'd be calling in some kind of a burger czar or sandwich enforcement official or whatever, and you'd either be fired by the end of the next meal rush or maybe even executed, because that is how restaurants work, right? I can't.
Everybody fears the chief meat officer. It's true.
Oh, the chief meat officer. That's what they call me in my night job, you know.
Hey, we've lived that. We've lived that. It's all right.
Oh shit.
That's
you in the domino mask? Oh fuck.
I wasn't. Oh, the mystique is ruined. The mystique. It's no good for anybody anymore. No. But I'm sure that that the burger people have some sort of judicial body and like a burger safety official. But I'm losing the plot a little bit.
Let me tell you, they are easy to bribe. You would not believe it.
You know what? I'm actually not surprised. Actually,
I would believe it.
I don't know exactly what this means. Can we get a Hamburglar rabble from this guy?
Oh dear.
Does anybody
I don't have
know?
that.
Like, did the Hamburglar go, ooh, I'm the Hamburglar, rabble, because I can do that. But if it's not that, I got nothing for you. I am very terribly sorry.
That is an amazing impression. I mean, I don't know how it stacks up to the other impressions that you've shown so far, but that was pretty good.
Well, I do eat a lot of hamburgers. I'm kind of a method guy like that.
Makes sense.
So, now, this is the part of the show, Nick, where I take you out of the frying pan and into the fire, really grill you with some piping hot questions so we can get into the meat and potatoes behind the delectable content. I'm still stuck on the burger thing, aren't I? I really got to start eating before I do this stuff. Either way, as I've told you about 100 times by now, I've been a huge Nightmind fan for years and years and years. And I've got some questions that I've just been sort of dying to ask you. We're talking a lot about cemeteries. Come on. So if you'd be so kind, I'd love to have a little demon to odd weasel monstrosity chat with you.
I'd be delighted.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
All right. So I always start off with like a really softball kind of question or whatever. But it goes like this. What is it that drew you into horror and stuff like that in the first place?
Well, I've always been interested in any sort of creative media that related to the paranormal. I mean, obviously, in my whole history of being a demon, being summoned, I was naturally a different kind of creature doing what I didn't understand at the time through all the summoning were largely sordid, seedy, terrible, horrible, murderous, arson sometimes, grave robbing occasionally kind of things. But then when you get free for the first time and realize that that is not so much a regular thing, and that has been your life, and now it is a celebrated thing all across the major human landscape, you feel seen. You feel loved. And you embrace that. And then you find out how entertaining that is and how creative it is. You really get in there and you just enjoy it. Not just from an artistic perspective, but an I feel that and that's my lived experience that you're celebrating perspective. But further on in time, when I got into the whole thing that I'm doing now, during the time period that I got free enough to do this whole thing, it went into a brand new form online. And it used to be that just like we're seeing here, it was run by the people who managed to only get themselves the resources, the know-how. The average person couldn't get up and just make a movie, but suddenly anybody could make something amazing, put it online, and get out there. And I thought that was absolutely admirable, and I wanted to celebrate that.
One, I feel very seen. Two, I'm kind of jealous that you had a better demon experience. I was on the boards that, like, created the DMV. and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you got
we
some
we
bad
more
cakes, man. I'm
psychological
sorry.
push side where I come from. But that was a really cool answer. I do really appreciate it. And so let me put on my ghost face here. What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, you're gonna ask that question, huh?
Yeah, I got to. It's because you got to put people on the spot because there's no good answer.
There's no good answer. There's no good answer you could ever actually give. The only way that I could ever truly give this answer is to say what I think one of the most important and perfect horror movies is, and then, but what is one of my favorites? Don't you dare touch it. I love it. It's perfect to me no matter what kind of answer. So I'll give you the first one, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I knew we were gonna be friends. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
One of the absolute, this changed the landscape, and it still holds up if you put somebody in front of it who's never seen it movies. That is a massive testament. Texas Chainsaw Massacre on that front. For the aspect of, well, I love it, I will always love it, I don't care what you say, the anthology Trick or Treat with Sam Hine.
Okay, yeah. I was. Are you talking Trick or Treat or Trick or Treat with the weird
Trick or
80s
Treat.
metal band? Yeah. But I think those are two. Oh God, now I'm putting on my last video store on Earth hat. But I think those two are like excellent, perfect answers because I do agree that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is kind of the perfect horror film. It's I could talk all day. It's just so. I feel like I need to take a shower every time I watch it. Like you feel the grime from the film, and that's like a really impressive thing. And there's so much going on in it that isn't explicitly said in the text of the movie. Like there's cosmic horror readings you could take into the movie with all the talk about the Zodiac and the weird stuff the sun has been doing that you hear on the radio. And it's so cool that it has this reputation as being such a like gruesome, intense, brutal movie, but there's like no blood or anything. Like it's all the suggestion of violence, except for when Leatherface sticks the guy on the hook. That's pretty gruesome. But it's not like buckets of blood like you see in a lot of stuff nowadays. And I think that's just it stands to the testament of the film. And Trick or Treat, come on! I'm a sucker for an anthology, and oh
it's
man,
just so fun. It's fun.
It is trick or treating put into a movie. It's Halloween distilled. It's awesome.
It is. It's Halloween. It's got the whole love of the whole thing, from the child that you've been during Halloween to the atmosphere that still exists for children experiencing Halloween, all the way up to the teenage years and how it evolved to your adulthood now. It's all wrapped in one beautiful package. All of it works, and it's fun. It's hilarious. It's horrifying. It's messed up. It's got something for everybody.
Yeah, totally. You know, I had how do I do this without breaking my own kayfabe? I've got a younger relative who recently got into horror films. They're a teenager, and I was like, what's something I can show that is like a legit horror movie, but it's not like wildly inappropriate because I don't need my mother-in-law yelling at me and all that. And I decided Trick or Treat would be a great pick. And we all sat down and we watched Trick or Treat, and I totally forgot that the guy puts on a porno tape in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh my God, I forgot that too. Because I was thinking about the head in the intro sequence and how nasty that could be. I wasn't thinking about the
violence. The violence, sure, that's fine. That's, kids play Grand Theft Auto, violence, whatever. But there's like a full cowgirl scene right at the very top of the movie. I was like, oh God, I was so embarrassed. It was the worst. I'm going to kick this one down to you too, since this is a more general question. What's your favorite scary movie, Spooky?
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm a simple man. I love to laugh. Exorcist.
Yeah, it's honestly, like you're fucking around, but it's a very funny movie. Like that's sort of at the core. It's come on, you can't say your mother sucks cocks in hell and not expect me to laugh. That's the best diss I've ever heard.
You can't projectile vomit all over an unsuspecting priest and not feel like that was some sort of slapstick.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you had a second half to that sentence there, because you're gonna tell me I can't vomit all over a priest? Who do you think you are?
Don't tell me what to do.
Absolutely you can. You know you can.
But Megan Gandhi, I do appreciate your Beetlejuice there. I've seen The Exorcist 107 times, and it gets funnier every time I see it. Yeah. And then Exorcist 3 is a fantastic film. If only for that one wicked jump scare in the hospital where the person comes out with the fucking clock tower. Is that the game? The big scissors.
Yeah. That plus Brad Dourif. Everybody knows Brad Dourif as I'm Chucky, you know? But when you go into the dude's career, especially that performance in Exorcist 3, it's like, oh, I don't know how anybody can sleep on Brad Dourif's range and ability. Like,
he's an excellent character actor. He's so good. And yeah, people only really know him for Chucky. And I liked him a lot in Reindeer Games. He was cool in that movie. That was a good movie.
Unironically,
David Lynch's stuff.
Unironically, Peter de Vries in Dune. I mean, that movie is hamstrung in many ways, but to be a little bit less of an irony poisoned shithead for a second, Evil Dead was the first movie I ever saw where I realized that I was going to be into horror movies.
Yeah, that's an excellent movie for that. That's another one of those ones that, like, if I have people who have started getting into horror films and they're like, okay, show me one of the like really cool ones. Evil Dead is one of the go-tos, not only because of its like air cult status or whatever, but it's so funny. And with the first one, it's also so scary at the same. Like they balance it really well, and then you get to Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, and it's Tom and Jerry cartoons, but very good Tom and Jerry
goes
cartoons.
Up, the horror goes down. Yeah,
but man, they're still awesome
with that. Yeah, absolutely. And Evil Dead is also a triumph in indie filmmaking. The school of, you know what, I have an idea. I've got barely any resources, but I have enough. I'm going to go do it. And then made an entire career. Sam Raimi was a trailblazer who showed so many others how to do it, and we've all benefited from that.
And he almost killed every actor in the movie.
Yes.
It's a tradition.
Yeah, that's indie filmmaking. It's like when we were talking about paying people in sandwiches. Have you ever read... I don't know if you guys are wannabe filmmakers or not, but have you ever read Lloyd Kaufman's Make Your Own Damn Movie?
I can't say I have.
That's a great title.
So for you guys and for the people in chat, Lloyd Kaufman is the founder and CEO of Troma Films. They brought us The Toxic Avenger, Class of Nukem High, Tromeo and Juliet. I could go on and on. But they're... shockingly indie for as popular as they are. Hold on. I gotta move my arm. Okay. But they're okay, hang on. Gustavo Black, hold on. He says, favorite Troma film, go. It's Tromeo and Juliet all day. I love Tromeo and Juliet. Crazy monsters. One of my favorite beheadings in a movie ever. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But they're this super, super indie film company that is like widely respected, and a ton of, screenwriters and directors of the now that are making AAA blockbusters started out at Troma. Like James Gunn wrote the screenplay for Tromeo and Juliet.
Whoa.
And he got his start as an intern at Troma, and now he's like James friggin' Gunn.
Sheesh.
But yeah, check me out. Horror 101 coming up soon. We're going to be talking about the 40th anniversary of The Toxic Avenger. Me and my buddy Dr. AC and Chad DeBoyd and Barry Under Your Bed. Come check it out. Anyway, that's my own plug on my own stream. That's kind of sad.
No, it's not.
But as I was
super life.
Yeah, I guess so, right? No, I'm a pea tuba. That's a whole different thing. Oh no! Oh no! What have I done? What have I done? Oh, what hell hath I wrought here? But yeah, Lloyd Kaufman is the guy behind Troma, and he wrote this book called Make Your Own Damn Movie, and it's kind of the go-to guide for making a movie on $1 and a dream. And he openly admits in like the first couple of chapters that he paid actors as little as possible and gave them sandwiches and that was kind of what
Wow.
you got. But you got to be
Wow.
in a trauma movie, so whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting stuff.
It's amazing to hear how things used to be.
And still
just
kind of
because
are,
it's
depending on
unfathomable.
who you're working for.
Depending on who you're working for,
Mhm.
depending on where you're working, because there could be so many places like when I cover online unfiction, it's for nothing except let's create something amazing and the glory of what might happen. And everybody in there understands that. It's like, if you're getting into these projects thinking you're gonna make money,
Yeah,
oh son, maybe if you cross the finish line, you can start a Patreon for your next project, or if you do well enough halfway through, but the scene is kind of changing a little bit. There have been some shifts in order to kind of open up the career paths, which is awesome. But it's amazing to hear how it used to be back in the day, and how sometimes it still kind of is, and where that is occurring. Sometimes people really do just want to be part of something cool. Period.
Yeah, and I really I got a really big soft spot for that. I love when people putting something out because they have an idea in their head and it needs to get out of their head. I love that, and I think you can really feel it. You talked about all the unfiction stuff you cover. I don't know how in tune to modern horror movies and the stuff that comes out you guys are, but so much of the stuff that's hitting theaters and streaming services these days pull their inspiration so directly from the kind of stuff you cover on your channel. It's, as somebody who's been interested in and aware of that kind of e-horror, I like to call it, I don't really have a better name for it, but as somebody who's been aware of and into that for so long, it's crazy to see it hitting a movie theater screen. And there's a movie called Butterfly Kisses, which is a really cool movie, but it may as well be Marble Hornets, but made for a movie. And it's just a really odd thing, because I don't think the Marble Hornets guys or any of those people ever expected to make something out of it. They were just like, no, this is my art piece and I think it's cool and I'm going to make it, And so it's just a weird thing to see. I don't really know what my point is, but I'm saying the internet has influenced horror finally. And when the results are good, they are very good.
I'm not exactly sure what you're saying either, but as long as it involves not paying people, I'm in favor of it.
Hey, that's my guy right there. And Scorn saying fucking Skinamarink feels like something straight from the YouTube horror space. Yes, it does. Oh, yeah, and Fair Skinamarink has that feel. I didn't mean to bring that comment up, but it worked. And it totally does, and that's because the concept for Skinamarink was a short film called Heck that the creator of Skinamarink put on YouTube when he was in film school. So that tracks, and there's a reason it feels that way. But I do love Skinamarink very, very much.
We also have confirmation that the director and writer was in fact a fan of Marble Hornets.
And you can feel it, like you so can see it in there. Oh, wait, that's actually a very good segue into this question. So as much as I do love horror films, I feel like a lot of the really bleeding edge, fresh, and interesting stuff happens online by people that aren't really making quote-unquote films in the traditional sense of the word, right? Or even in the written word in a place like No Sleep, or on the unfiction kind of stuff like you cover on YouTube, you've been well around the block on the e-horror, unfiction, all that thing. So what do you think are the hallmarks that make a good, dare I say, great piece of, internet branded horror?
It's finding the unnerving inside of what was previously only seen as ordinary. That's the kind of a key factor that I find throughout it. And a lot of the time, the ordinary can simply be what the order of the day is and what's ordinary online, what people expect, what they know commonly. It's easy enough to have something like a Twitter account that all of a sudden it just gets strange. It's easy enough to find a YouTube channel where it's just somebody vlogging, and then they catch sight of something that's messed up, or they start to act a little bit messed up, and then you find something strange about them. One of the huge movements that happened in very recent time is the idea of liminal spaces, in which everybody collectively decided to start basically admitting to each other, aren't there kind of weird spots in society, in buildings, where you can walk in and it just doesn't feel right, or it feels wrong in a way that you enjoy? And then we came up with the idea of, talking about liminal spaces and liminal space horror, and then we got the Backrooms, which is an expansion of that idea of what about buildings that simply should not be, and what can we do with that idea? On-fiction and e-horror very commonly brings out the kind of things that we have been nervous about or fearful about or just interested in and would find strange that none of us have really tackled before. When something really hits, really hits, it's almost as if somebody finally admitted something where 100 people whipped their head around and said, "Oh my God, I've always felt that, but nobody ever put it into words." And then it catches like wildfire.
Yeah, that was freaking transcendental, Nikki. I gotta tell you, that was a very good answer, and you're so right. And the chat's going off with all sorts of liminal spaces. We got school after it's closed, school hallways at sunset. Yeah, and like a Dead Mall has always been one of my favorites because I guess I should say the meat bag back here sort of grew up in that mall crawl era where you didn't have anything else to do, so find a mall. And he grew up in a very small, poor town, so the mall hadn't been updated since like 1988, and everything was just dead and run down. And there's just like a vibe about it that it's hard to put into words, And I do think that liminal space thing is very cool. And you talk about it catching on like wildfire. It does. And then it also sort of gets diluted. I've got my opinions. I want to ask yours because you're sort of the expert. What do you, because I also know, see, I'm demonstrating my knowledge of your friggin' content, bro.
Good job.
I also know that you've, at least in the past, you've done a lot of stuff regarding like the SCP Foundation and things like that have like lore and creatures and all that. How do you feel about the, let's call it the SCP-ification of the Backrooms? Because I've always thought the thing that made liminal spaces and the Backrooms or whatever kind of creepy is that there's nothing there. The only thing that's there is the oppressive loneliness of being in a place that shouldn't be. And that place that shouldn't be, that's like the whole idea of horror to me, is that which should not be. So that's like a cool thing. But what do you think about people feeling the need to throw creatures into liminal spaces to try and make it have a hook or something?
In certain elements, it did work out because eventually you do ask yourself the question of what could be here, and then somebody really wants to approach that question. The SCP-ification of the Backrooms and liminal spaces, though, I do know about it, and I was not on board because it seemed like it did defeat the purpose entirely of, okay, we have explored these places down to their limits, and we have entire levels and systems of categorization and classification. You can expect to find this on this level. This is how you get away from it. On this level, we have these certain building elements, and we have this creature that might pop out of the ceiling tiles, and it really did kind of take the idea that you were saying of it's weird, it's unknown, it's the thing that should not be, and it's so intimidating. And the beauty is that exhilarating feeling of I should not be here, this place should not exist, and somehow it does, and I know nothing about it. And then we labeled it all up and down, and even in the SCP wikiification of the thing, it still missed the point of what makes Foundation articles and crawling through the wiki so amazing, which is that even at the head of an article where you can get the writing that tells you what an object is and where it was found and how to contain it and kind of give you that header, everything else in the article can still tell you a story that leads you somewhere where you had no idea it was going to bring you there when you got in. The mystery still exists. It's waiting for you there. The beginning is just your basic info, and then you get to experience the whole breadth of the tale. With liminal stuff and the back rooms being reduced to this whole categorization system, a lot of that fun is missed and just kind of taken away from what it started as, and they can't even get close to what the SCP Wiki does with it. Bravo to the kind of creativity that everybody is getting in on. I imagine that a lot of that came from those who realized there's a chance now to get in on something that is like something I love, and I never could have gotten in on that, and I can't do it now, but I'm here for this, and I love it, and that I will always applaud. But I do agree that it does not enthuse me.
Believe it or not, there's actually something kind of similar for those of us who are aficionados of hot dogs, you know, because no one would, what kind of meat is actually in the hot dog ruins it.
That's true. That's true. There's a reason they say don't ask why the sauce or how the sausage is made or whatever the phrase is.
Because you have to preserve the joy of the mystery. Exactly.
And that's what the preservatives are in there for. Come on, you think they put the nitrites in there because they're bad for you? Maybe a little bit.
It goes all the way to the top.
Oh my god! And the no context. This is just funny. Gorilla meat.
Gorilla meat. Yeah. See, I would not mind eating gorilla meat at all, as long as you don't tell me that's what it is.
Yeah, if you slather enough ketchup on it, I'm gonna eat it. I don't know. Oh, and relish. Oh man, now I'm thinking about hot dogs. Oh my god, this is terrible. I had a point. Oh, you talked about the SCP Wiki sort of situation. You ever read The Holders?
Oh, I think I've come across it.
It's like an old series of loosely related creepypastas that were like sort of inspired by like a Lovecrafty kind of thing. There's old ones. They're coming. You can't stop them. And the Holders are like these objects that will somehow help you whenever they get here. And I always thought that was really cool because the SCP Foundation did have a little bit of a barrier for entry, we'll say. You know, you couldn't just throw anything out, especially once it got hot. But that was something I always kind of thought was cool about the Holders, was they were like, so long as you don't write the ultimate holder that destroys all the old ones, put it in there. It's fine.
Yeah. No power creep from 14-year-olds just joining the boards.
Yeah, no way. But yeah, this is it. It was all these rituals to get paranormal objects, and they all started like in any town, in any country. Find an empty blah, 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 and then call your mother and tell her whatever. And they would just, there was a vibe about them. I always thought they were very cool. That's not apropos of anything. I just wanted to talk about them because it entered my brain.
I have come across it. Yeah.
Yeah. Another sort of question I had for you is when I think of what makes a Nightmind video, TM, the first things that come up are, well, one, your voice. You've got like an iconic kind of thing going on. I don't know if you know it or not, but I'll tell you, you got a really awesome thing going on there. But apart from that, see, you just did it right there. But apart from like just the sound you've got and all that, you've got this comprehensive analysis that's just mind-blowing to the media that you're, well, analyzing. For instance, like you did that really awesome breakdown years ago of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I saw people talking about it in the chat. They were like, oh, where's the puppet? You're here with puppets. Where's the puppet? Which it was an awesome puppet, by the way. But and when Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared was like fresh and new, I was always sort of just watching those as like weird puppet videos made for the sake of being weird puppet videos. And I hadn't ever really considered like a larger point or narrative or anything going on with those. And when I stumbled across your video about it, it sort of like blew my mind, all the stuff that I just hadn't considered. So without revealing too much of your secret sauce, there I go about the boigas again, what tips you off to what threads of a narrative can be pulled at to reveal the larger idea behind a piece of media?
It really came from being taught early on from certain figures that some might expect in natural course of being on Earth to come across when it comes to being taught things about art and media literacy, who really can point out the grander idea that can be put inside of a story. Because a story has a basic framework, everybody understands a basic story, but there are always touches as art evolves and understanding of what somebody is trying to convey goes into it. Where if you get a keen eye or a keen ear about it, you notice those certain things, that the touches are deliberate, and there is a wider understanding at play, and it makes the art richer. So often, we have the surface level understanding that we go through with the media, but when we get into the idea that there is more here in deliberate things like color choices, like symbols, like phrases that are brought up, or musical motifs consistent throughout time, the way that certain shots are composed, I will never forget the day that a film student sat me down and was so enthusiastic about a scene from a movie called The King's Speech, in which the whole idea is that the newly appointed king has to give his first big speech, but he has a stutter. He's not confident. And he's sitting down with this character who is going to help him be prepared for what is going to happen. And this film student was explaining this one shot to me, which was an amazing shot. It was from the perspective of the king character towards this other character who's a guiding figure. And that guiding figure was all the way to like the right or the left of the screen. And the center and the other side of the screen was just open space. And the film student was raving about how brilliant the composition of the shot was, because what it told us from the point of view is, look how nervous this character is, that it is relaying the fact that he can't even look at the other character straight on, and we are seeing that through his eyes. And it blew my freaking mind. It's like, wow, things like that can happen. That's how creative you can be with your medium and the way that you approach things. And just, I began to see that in so many other avenues of creativity, online, offline, in older movies and TV shows, in what people were doing now, and especially those who went through schooling and understood those secrets and were taught those same secrets. So it just became kind of a language that I began to study, and I realized not everybody knows this. The common person who loves this stuff doesn't know it. But I do, and I want to let them in on a secret. Now I'm the raving film student, and I want to bring that to people. And then when you actually start to discuss these things on a public scale, everybody is learning it at the same time. And if they are homebrew creators, they're indie, and they just want to get into their own thing, they're going to bring those touches too. And now an entire population of new creators and developing creators have learned a new language of art all together, and they're teaching it to each other and the common audience. Everybody is now evolving.
Damn, man, you're coming with the hits, man. Like I'm not trying to undermine how good of an answer that was, but like I was not prepared for how good of an answer that is. That's friggin' awesome. I think it doesn't help that I was doing a lot of drugs when I watched Don't Help Me, I'm Scared. But or maybe it would have helped if I was doing better ones. I don't know. But regardless, God, that was such a good answer.
Thank you.
But that's enough softball shit for now. The kid gloves are coming off, and I'm going to ask you the real deal, hard-hitting question right here, okay?
Oh no, I'm going to get asked what jobs I did in the 80s in my first stint while I was free in order to survive. Here it comes.
Oh, come on. We all know that already. Me, I can look at you and tell a mile away. I know what you were doing. No, the question is this. Where does the intersection between demon and cat end? Like, I bet your hairballs, paws, are outrageous. Like, do you just walk around your apartment, like, knocking shit off the counters? Like, what is that life like?
You get a lot of intrusive thoughts that belong to animals and that you incorporate into your DNA. I mean, I could tell that it's probably been a long time since you shapeshifted into anything that's really giving you strange vibes. I mean, for what you've got going on, I mean, goats, the hooved animals, they don't have a lot of crazy behaviors that just kind of come to them. But
I eat a lot of tin cans.
See, there it is. There it is. And we can digest it. You
know
we can do
fine.
that.
They're delicious and good for you. I got to get my iron.
It works. It just works. You get your iron in that way. Yeah, you get your metals. Hey, we can use it. No, I do not groom like a regular cat. I still want to get into a shower, and I'll deal with however I have to deal with that. But no, sometimes you do get you just look around, and I put down my coffee mug, and then I recenter it away from the corner, because I look at it and there's just a thought that comes in of push, and I think no, resist it. If you enjoy this form, you're gonna curb the instinct.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's pretty well summed it up. Hey, Spooky, what's your deal?
Hey.
What's your deal?
Well, it's complicated. The labels buy and pan don't necessarily tell you everything that you need to. Well, how did you mean that?
I feel very good that you feel safe to admit that here. That's very
Thank
nice
you. You're
and
in good
beautiful.
company.
Yeah. You'd like.
Well, this is.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, buddy, I got you good company right here, But anyway, do they allow that here? I don't know what's going on.
Yes. Oh my God, do they allow that here? You wouldn't believe what they allow here, or what we force Twitch to allow here.
Oh yeah, you gotta force their hand. No, I mean, like, where does I don't know, like skeleton and weasel end? What's the deal?
Okay.
I know your weaselly behaviors. I think you owe me $5, but
you'll never see that. In fact, I think you probably owe it to me somehow again. No, but I see what you're saying. So I've been dead for a couple hundred years now, and the way that I died is coming soon direct to video. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lovely 3x structure, and it involves cement shoes and a very, very marketable polar bear that a lot of people are going to be begging their parents for plush toys of.
Oh no, Spooky Weaselbones, don't turn me into a marketable plush toy. No.
Capitalism is one of the evilest things ever invented, and so naturally I mainline it.
Yeah, not my department. I had notes about that one. I had notes.
Rabble rouser. So
why do you think they stuck me on Earth? God.
So pretty much. I don't know. I'm thinking about the things I've put onto my Instagram in the past, and I think, how does me lip syncing to Frank Zappa lyrics incorporate into the whole lore of? I don't know. I think that if you dig deep enough into that hole, what you will find beneath it is a void where the lore should have been filled in and never was.
Well, Frank Zappa rules voice code, so that's fine.
Now, believe me when I tell you that my song is really true.
I like the bad. No, wait, how does it go? It's the Bobby Brown one, and it's like he can take an hour on the Tower of Power. I can't remember that song. But the Grave Mind popped in here, and they said, "Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Sorry. This is the one."
True enough, though.
Spooky in the movie will be played by Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, interesting. Over My Living Body. How about that?
Yeah, I see you more as like a Paul Giamatti type.
Wow.
Actually, yeah.
You know what? I don't even have any repartee for that. That's just really good.
Wow. Repartee, that's a $4 word. You could win Scrabble with that. That's crazy.
Paul Giamatti. Hey, I'm just a weasel here. Yeah, what are you trying to do to my weaselness? I'm pausing.
It's okay if there's a void, Spooky, because around these parts, Twitch is kind of littered with ultra-powerful deities who have been suddenly incarnated as laughing, nubile anime women who have given up all of what they were doing to play video games and laugh at YouTube videos, and nobody understands why the hell this is happening around us, and we shrug and we go with it. So your answer is honestly as good as so many.
Yeah. You really. I think honestly, you're getting to the core of what I'm struggling to explain here, which is part of the whole Spooky Weaselbones thing. And all of you people who are watching this in a stream, you never heard me get meta like this. Okay, I don't have self-awareness. And you tell everyone that I don't have self-awareness.
I'll tell everyone right now. I'm writing a tweet as we speak.
But part of the whole thing is that I never wanted Spooky to be so knowable in that way. Part of the whole point of the character is that it's fun if you're always guessing what's going on in his mind, and part of it is that Spooky is never really in on the joke either, so it doesn't turn into kind of this self-serious thing that you're alluding to there. Because again, like, I look back at my history, the rubble I have left on this old internet of ours, trying to express something missing in this guy's skull, and a lot of it has to do with kind of inflating of the ego and this stuff, and none of it's ever relatable or fun, but somehow hitting on this thing where it's like, I'm going to take my absolute worst impulses, drape them across nothing, and then go with it, and it's working pretty well.
I love
and there you go. You found what works.
As you know, the devil, I love to see people give in to their worst impulses. It's kind of my whole thing. So I totally get it. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it was legit.
You got to move some cells into your vocal cords, man. Shift it up.
No, it's not happening.
Oh, man. Oh, all right.
So before we get this train back on the tracks and put this movie back on, I got some more cemetery questions for our
hey!
And I'm sorry to. Oh my God, my hand fell off. Hold on. Pay no attention to the human hand coming across the screen.
Detachable goat paw.
It's just your servant. It's okay.
Yeah,
I had a few until they were taken away.
Yeah, that's. Hold on. As soon as I get this out of my mouth, I'll start talking again. Yeah.
Oh, someone says the polar bear should be played by Danny DeVito. Hell yes. Yeah, he's very gettable.
Yeah. But yeah, I make really good use of my can you call them familiars anymore? My familiar back here. I make very good use of that.
It's antiquated, but it's still respectful.
Yeah, Yeah, what's the joke from What They Do in the Shadows? He's a little too familiar. But spooky! Yeah! We will. I noticed. I got some more cemetery questions for you, buddy. Okay. I noticed early in the movie, we were talking, but when Mr. Kraft and the groundskeeper is hanging out, they pound whiskey while they're like talking business. Now, is drinking on the job required for a cemetery groundskeeper or just encouraged?
It's one of those things that if you choose not to participate, then your days are numbered. It's not official, but there is a culture. The one thing is not whiskey. Usually not whiskey. The most popular way to go, formaldehyde with a twist.
Oh, you love a good formaldehyde sour. Yeah.
It firms, it tightens, it messes you up.
Yeah, that'll put you on the ground right there. So the idea of a possibly cursed cemetery map is a really compelling piece of storytelling. Are cursed objects like common among our cemeteries?
I've come across one or two in my time. The most important thing with cursed objects is to provoke them over and over again for reasons that no one around you can understand. Just make it happen. But I've had the odd. There's the water hose that always tries to strangle you whenever you turn it on. But I lived in a cemetery not too far from here, and there was a groundskeeper there. He's always going on about a gas leak. He would warn the higher ups that there was this gas leak over and over and over again. There's will you do something about this gas leak? And management would never listen. And so one day, a young couple comes along. They're scoping out places for a plot. And, the young man in this couple, he pulls a cigarette out of his pocket. And he pulls a lighter out. And suddenly, the FBI showed up and they arrested the groundskeeper for wire fraud. And I got distracted by the whole hullabaloo. And I drove the golf cart into a boulder. And they say that when you're going around corners, the left wheel on that golf cart still squeaks to this very day.
No, don't say that. That's scary stuff, man. I can't deal with that. I'm going to have nightmares.
Yo, drop me info about that later. I can incorporate that into a video for October.
Oh man, I can't wait. So
Sure
it
thing.
seems to me that owning a cemetery might be the perfect business plan. It's the one establishment that every human on earth is dying to get into. Come on, come on. But on the other hand, it sort of seems like a pretty one-note revenue stream. To keep all of your shareholders happy, because that's the bottom line these days, what are some ways a graveyard could draw in some extra cash?
Good question. Good question. So, not a lot of people know this, but the real money in the cemetery business is in tips. And when people want to give you a tip, they have a secret code phrase that they use. And I'm not really supposed to tell people this, but this is the secret code. When people want to give you a tip, they say, "Here, he wanted to be buried with this."
Oh, that's pretty smart.
I see. Yeah.
And then you can get some gold watches that way.
Does that have anything to do with those Rolexes you were talking about at the start of the show?
I do not know anything about any Rolexes, sir. I've never met you before, and my name is Sparky G. Wobblestones.
Good answer. Good answer. I was
How's the
testing
stuffed
you.
animal business going? It's hard to come by inventory these days.
See, it's so good he's laughing about it. That's how good the business is going.
I see. I see.
Yeah. So here's another one. Oh my God, hold on. Is your name Meki or Meshi? I don't know, but a crematorium opens up down the block and your whole investment goes up in smoke. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That would totally happen to Spooky Weaselbones because pipe bombs don't exist. Grow up.
Come on. Grow up. Oh, yeah, that's good shit. So here's something I've been wondering about. Humans, those poor things, they all expire at some point, right? And there's only so much space in a boneyard, and real estate expansion is a real pain, as I'm sure you know. With all the red tape, I should know, like I said, my department back home came up with a lot of that stuff in the first place. How can a cemetery deal with having more stiffs than they do room for holes in the ground?
Yeah, I like this question a lot. So, have you ever had Fun Dip?
Oh, of course I've had Fun Dip.
Yeah, you know that weird. For anyone who hasn't had it, it's you have this stick and it's made out of this weird kind of chalky candy, and you lick it and it So the big innovation is that the headstones are going to be made out of that, and then sort of embedded in the side inside of the chalky candy headstone is a for sale sign. So you get a few rainstorms in, headstone gone, for sale sign up, fresh start, never happened.
I have no idea why you're in so much legal trouble. You are a shrewd businessman.
They just don't like it when you succeed.
Yeah, they hate to see a real one on top. They sure
They
do.
do. You make an honest living being clever about it, and you get the haters.
And then you get rules and regulations and indictments. Boo, boring, lame.
You knock over more than 5 fire hydrants a day, and they're all down your neck about it.
Whatever. I think everyone should get 6 at least.
For sure.
I've been looked at crossways by one too many fire hydrants. I tell you that much.
Do we not get a little leeway for behaving ourselves every once in a while?
Yeah, I feel like I get a couple freebies. But thank you very much. That was insightful and informative as always, Spooky.
Why, thank you.
So we flapped a lot of gums. I forgot we have a movie to watch. Let's throw this back on and flap some more gums. So as we left off, our buddy Bobby Kraft, he stuck a black pin in a living person's grave plot, and then he mysteriously died. Oh my goodness. And he's a little freaked out about it, as I'm sure anyone might be. I lost my hand again. Oh my God. Anyway, as I get my hand, let's cue up I Buried a Living!
Woo! Hooray.
Won't be but a moment, sir. No, don't bother, McKee. I think I've got it.
I'm sorry, I knocked the hell out of my microphone there.
Oh, that'll be all, McKee.
I've done it before.
We'll see you later, Andy.
Well, the place hasn't changed a bit since I was chairman. 2 more pins in the map.
Black ones.
White ones, too.
I kind of want a cursed map object of my own in my office now.
Yeah, just to remind you of the little things, you know?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Just stare at the
I'm
spiral
going to
and see
convince
what
you that
comes to
there's
me.
nothing out here for you to worry about.
Maybe grab one of my
George, let's
coffee
forget
mugs,
this.
fill it up,
Bob.
pack of cigarettes, I
said
will
I'm
chain
just going
smoke.
to convince you.
Take off the vest.
Well, George,
Be a 1950s man.
suppose you took
Whoa!
Henry Trowbridge's
Whoa!
pin out and put a black one in its place.
He's
tomorrow morning,
undressing!
straight up dead.
Whoa! You gotta normally pay for stuff like that.
But suppose
Normally
by
you do,
some weird
but
coincidence
this is a
it
special
happened.
occasion.
It's happened to me 3 times already.
Oh, Coco Mello is very right in the chat. This is very much giving crop circle. There's not enough weird straight lines for it to be a crop circle.
Resign and I'll back you up. Now, Henry Trowbridge, let me see if I remember.
So I just mentioned Henry as an example. Now you're not going to use him.
Well, Henry's as good a choice as anybody.
Oh, I've got to highlight this one. Junji Ito mentioned. Where you at? Where you at? Junji Ito mentioned. Junji Ito mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Bad idea to stare at a spiral. You're right.
Yeah, you don't want to turn into a snail or something or whatever.
Won't be quite as conclusive.
I've never tried that one. Never really had the reason to.
From the established pattern. But I
I don't know. I like salt too much, you know? Like, I got a sodium problem.
I have a problem overall with slowing down, so...
Yeah, from what I understand about you, that makes a lot of sense.
It's the life.
Don't I know it, buddy?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the trumpet started, so you know shit's getting real.
He's made a choice.
And now he's got to drink about it.
Here comes the formaldehyde twist.
Oh, yeah! That's a spooky Weaselbones original right there. Yeah, I too have to pound shots whenever I might possibly have killed a man.
And he'd reserve a nice quiet room for me at Providence Hospital.
Providence
Let's keep this quiet, my boy. Henry can't complain. After all...
Yeah, wow, I didn't know Providence looked exactly like Los Angeles. That's crazy. I also like that it's just people's first names. Here's Frank, here's Henry, here's Susan.
Yeah. How do they update a map like that?
Very carefully.
The end of the day, contemplating the accidental murder or not accidental murder you might have just committed using office equipment.
You may or may not have possibly done on a whim because it was kind of cool and you were curious.
Nothing serious. I just meant to call Henry earlier and it slipped my mind. Put him on, will you? Or if he's watching the movie and enjoying it, ask him to call me back during the commercial.
Oh, here's a suggestion. Being a fox with an extra X is pretty good. If any of you demons are thinking about a shape change for the future, I'm pretty married to this body. I wasn't blessed with the shape-shifting gene or whatever. So I'm kind of, you get what you get over here, okay?
So some of us get it, some of us don't, you know?
Yeah, rub it in, rub it in.
I'm not rubbing it in. I'm not rubbing it in.
This sounds an awful lot like rubbing it in, I'm just saying.
I love how you came out, all right? You know Mother loves us all equally.
Don't get me started. She hasn't called me in... Oh, they don't have phones, do they?
Yeah, no, we were still working on that when I left.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, he was always the favorite one and the pretty one. And everyone said, Lucy, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. That's what our family dinners were like, okay?
Long tables. Very long.
Yeah,
tables.
long tables. Man, you try putting Belphegor at a Denny's, forget about it.
Yeah. Oh, I love old cars like this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they absolutely drink gasoline. I think you could probably buy one of those for like $1,000, but you would pay the same in gas like every 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and the maintenance. Oh, the maintenance.
Well, yeah, I think you got like you may as well. Let me rephrase. If you're the type of person who is that into cars like that, you're probably going to learn how to fix them on your own. I think, anyway.
Sure big enough. There are the black pins, eh?
particularly concerned with these four. Isham and the Drexel couple.
Oh, Iron Fox, very true. No crumple zones on those cars. No, it's just American steel all the way through.
That's right.
You got an accent, it's all over.
Well, go ahead, Lieutenant. You think I'm a crackpot, and I hope you're right. I just want to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I do think you're a crackpot. By the way, could you crack a pot of coffee?
Yeah.
DOA, emergency receiving hospital, result of highway collision. William Isham, cause of death, cerebral hemorrhage.
No, I see the man in the overcoat and the hat came, and Spooky had to come back in. He's among his people.
Give
me that on the better rice.
Oh, you're gonna put the waba sauce on there? I love the waba sauce.
What's new, or should I say real?
Whoa, that was kind of modern. What's new? What should I say? Real? I'm gonna start saying that to people. That's kind of hard.
That is.
I keep telling him it's just coincidence.
Yeah.
There's something Ed Woodian about that line. There's something, a man's dead and someone's responsible.
Very good. Very good.
I know.
That's how cause and effect works.
Observe now as I drop this pen.
No.
It hit the floor?
Say, do you have family in this plot?
Weird
Never
science.
should have called the police. Rayborn's one of the best. Any other guy might have looked for a big, heavy book to throw at you.
See, now a stripper would have known how to open that coat efficiently.
I know. I was watching it. I was so disappointed.
Really dangerous.
I mean, yikes.
Or maybe the
Are we shooting 1-to-1 here? We don't have time for another take?
Yeah, like, come on. This was the last day of shooting. Like, okay, being very awkward with the coat, but we got to get this thing in the can.
Yeah.
I'm over here sitting on 17 reels of people putting pins in a map. You think I give a fuck about a coat?
What movie do you think we are making here? Is this Man Takes Off a Coat? No, it's I Bury the Living. Which we should have called Man Puts Pins in the Board, but whatever.
And that man goes back to his own retail job.
This isn't Orson Welles and Makes America Vespucci the musical.
What does he sell, by the way? Do we know?
They don't really say. They just say he runs a department store. So I'm guessing it's a sort of Woolworths or a Five and Dime, probably bargain, menswear.
Can you name somewhere that I'm not banned from, Lucy? This is a painful set of memories.
I mean, the one, well, I guess not banned from is the shorter list.
I talked to Charlie and Bill.
You know what? Now I'm realizing why I was so attracted to this room for my office. It's as big as the offices used to be back in the day. There's no reason for it to be this large. It just feels good. I was so conditioned into it. I got summoned into so many offices that looked exactly like this in size and scale, and it rubbed off on me.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. So, man, what's the words I'm looking for? What do those contracts look like? Like, are you a contract guy? I'm kind of a contract guy.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you know, when they pull you upstairs, I understand that your wing up was different with how they orchestrated that. But when you're freelancing with the summoning circles like that, you kind of make the deal on the spot with the terms.
Oh, like a car dealer.
I guess one of the
you get screwed as often too.
Maybe not.
One of the line items for the interior designer was knock down fourth wall.
Oh, come on! Whoa! He's on fire!
Nice. You saw me, you heard me. Lunchtime, Annie. I want you. I need you.
Bob, I was obviously
naming a man who puts pins in a map would be too Get out of here.
Boo, but secretly clapping.
Yeah. Boo this man. Boo this man cheerfully.
Come on, Robert. Take her out to the luncheon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, he can't take a joke, and he can't take you to the luncheon.
All right, then I was lying.
That's the deal breaker, ladies.
That bring you back to reality again.
Get you a man who takes you to luncheons. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's all the counter memes that are like, if you say the chun in luncheon, you're a cop.
Oh man. Oh, come on. I'm evil, but like a cop? Come on. That's crazy.
The offer's awfully attractive.
I love you so much.
But there was always a line like this in
And
old
if you're
movies.
gonna cry, do it someplace else.
If you're gonna cry, do it someplace
that kind
else.
of, oh, that's so cold. Yeah,
Yeah.
walk away. He won't take you to the luncheon. He'll tell you to go cry somewhere else.
Now, Bob, it's
Come
real
on.
simple. We're willing to play ball with
Look,
you.
he only
If you
cares
want to
about
remain
his
chairman of this
Woolworths.
committee, we wouldn't think of trying to dissuade you. Because we have confidence in you.
And what happens when he
Full
plays with office equipment?
All the confidence in the world, Bob.
Now, all we want before we break this up is a promise from you, Mr.
Man,
Chairman.
people were just
Before you
really
turn in
drinking on the job all the time back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, what a time
happened?
it must have been. Yeah.
Drinking, smoking.
George's.
Yeah, I remember
straight,
when you
no
could
pleasant
smoke in a
drinks.
Burger King.
Oh my god.
I
that's right. Oh.
one of my favorite things about this movie is that all the characters in it are just
You're only our chairman.
dragging the plot
You do need to
forward
carry
with
out
the
will of
force
the majority.
of like a tractor. Just like, no, keep doing the pins.
Look, I know you think you're
Wait,
killing people.
What do
I
you mean?
don't care.
Do the pins.
Yeah, we keep it going forward, except for these odd sequences that keep being interwoven with the retail plot. We're having this meeting about what's going on there. Meanwhile, we're just trying to figure out, okay, when are they going to really put the pieces together that people are being killed by moving around these pins, and where'd that come from?
Well, that's the funny thing with all that's going on right now is, oh, we're losing the movie again. But people are dying, and it does sort of relate to when the pins go in. But nobody is acknowledging it except the main guy here. Everyone else is just sort of like, I mean, that's just coincidence. That's crazy. There's no way it was something like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because he talked to the police that morning, and they were like, no, it's a coincidence. I was just waiting to see if he goes fully to the dark side with this. And realizes, well, I can keep business going in this new inheritance.
Vertical integration. They do the killing and the burying.
Well, you're making money while you're making money. I'm telling you, we're full of ideas today.
Oh, there it is. The pin is in.
Whoa, he's got rhymes.
Who is it?
That's what the tagline for this movie would have been if it were an action movie in the 90s. The
pin is
in.
Come on, we need to put more pins now.
With Robert Kraft's face.
Well, okay, so it would be Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jean-Claude Van Damme and
Jackie Chan. Fuck it.
Yeah, Jackie Chan. Why not? And Chris Tucker. Just get the whole Rush Hour thing going.
Yes.
He may not know everything what's behind it, but he knows when a thing's to be fooled with and when it's to be left alone.
Yeah, Gravemind. That's so they map the plots at the cemetery with pins, and when a living person buys a plot, they stick a white pin in the plot, and when a person is dead in the grave, they put a black pin in there, and the guy believes that when he puts a black pin on a living person's plot, the map kills them somehow.
Who will? Good night, Andy. Good night.
Technically, there is an angle here in which you could just say maybe he is predicting things. It's not out of the question. Obviously, that would not be like the fun, spooky part of things, really. But it could be more of that Twilight Zone lean.
Hey, have you seen this movie before?
Oh, me?
Oh, I was talking to this person in the chat.
Yeah.
No, I will say, me knowing how this movie plays out and hearing your theorizing is very entertaining. It's very fun.
What, Jess?
Bob? Why didn't you answer me? I've been looking all over town for you. I'm calling from
Because
your
I don't
place
like
now.
you.
What are you doing at the cottage again? Haven't you had enough for one day?
Jess, I think I've done something terribly wrong.
Oh, Pete, what are you talking about?
I put mustard on my roast beef sandwich. No.
I told my girl to beat it, and then I went to the luncheon myself.
Whoa!
Maybe in retrospect, I was a little bit mean.
You know, I'm thinking I might should have taken it to the luncheon after all.
Yeah.
It just ate luncheon.
Black pin on
For
that
God's
map
sake.
for Charlie Bates and Bill Honegger and George. And if anything happens to them,
As you should, Coco Mallow. Pineapple goes on pizza if you don't have the palate of a 4-year-old.
Matter of fact, I think they did you a big favor. I've never heard of a coincidence involving 3 people dying all at once. By tomorrow at this time, this whole big worry of yours will be nothing but a lot of hot air.
I don't know about all that. And hot air makes balloons fly.
I guess there's nothing for me to do.
Why did they use the dialogue from the stand-in?
Bob? Bob.
All right. So when are we gonna find out that the cops have plots of their own, and then Robert's gonna take the truly dark path and knowingly stick a pin in them? What the sad clown? What kind of?
I think that a movie with this many I don't know. That I don't know. I don't have that optimism. I think this movie has an A plot, and that's it.
Yeah, there's not a lot else going on from what they're showing you.
Special effects.
Tripping.
I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in.
Hey there, Dr. Zero Shadow. Welcome aboard. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Yeah, we're just talking trash about this movie here and having a lot of fun.
Never having fun with the score for a minute there. Still are.
Man, I also love how in all these like older black and white movies, they're just lit like total shit. Like you can't see anything that's going on in the dark.
Made such an aesthetic though.
Yeah. 4mm bluroscope.
Ooh, I do love the bluroscope. You know, it makes me feel like I've been drinking beers without having to drink beers. It's great.
It is amazing throughout time that even incompetent filmmaking or just stuff that was not up to snuff in media became a style unto itself that people now adore. It's like, well, you guys were sea level at best, and joke's on us. 20 years later, we love it.
Oh, I mean, I've made a whole internet presence off of that very thing, so I totally get it. Yeah.
Shush. You're above sea level. Come on.
Oh no, I mean, I really enjoy sea level stuff. Is what I'm saying. Like, you ever heard of Curse of the Whale Wawa?
Curse of
Is
the
that
what?
a friend of yours?
yeah, he lives down on 4th Street. No. Curse of the Whale Wawa.
It's a little bit
The
of both.
Where Wawa.
Yeah, like Where Chihuahua.
Oh, I was thinking of Wawa, the chain that's on the East Coast, spreading into the Van East.
Yeah,
it's like does it do a Spirit Halloween thing where it's vacant during the day, but at night it turns into a Wawa?
I was thinking
of there.
I was thinking of the doo-wop vocals from Crocodile Rock.
That's what I turn into under the light of a full moon, so I get it. But no, it's a Curse of the Whale Wawa. It's like a total Z-grade indie movie that's on Tubi. But I thoroughly loved it. It was a ton of fun.
Oh, for the Gen Z in the audience, that device is operating right now. It's a coffee grinder.
Yeah. That's what you have to do. You have to grind it with your finger.
Back when I was young, we had these things called telephones. It was sort of like your cell phone, but you plugged it into the wall and you had to turn the little dial on it.
Yeah, make with the wallet, old man.
So here's $20. Go get a V-Buck.
That's a terrible exchange rate.
I don't know what V-Bucks are going for these days. What do you think I am?
I'm just lamenting, you know.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm a Magic the Gathering player. Everything's expensive.
Homicide.
Homicide indeed. Mm-hmm.
This is Bob Kraft speaking.
Yeah, Chihuahuas, Garth Fox, were also bred for sacrifice, and they were feet warmers for Mayan royalty. The more you know.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah, badass, as they say.
It's pretty good job security. Warming people's feet in the what? In the rainforest? When exactly is that service required?
Well, look, they didn't have central heating back then. I don't know.
Yeah. They have
cold
the
nights,
jungle.
cold nights.
What is going on here?
They just wanted to see if they could do it, okay? That's the honest truth. They wanted to see if they could do it, and then they did, and then they laughed and pointed at the guns and said, "Do you see this? Do you see this shit?"
So, breeding dogs for warming your feet is not about why, it's about why not.
It's about why not.
And they shake, so it's like a little shiatsu machine for your feet. No, I guess that would make more sense for a Shih Tzu to be a shiatsu machine, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Chihuahuas.
Wow.
How did Honegger get it?
Oh, Dr. Shadow wants to know, Spooky. Yo, Weaselbones, do you have a Twitch? I found your Tumblr, I think, but I'd like to follow you.
I have Instagram that is at official Department of Motor Vehicles, and
you got to take a number.
Right, exactly. Yeah, here's some numbers. 12, the number of people who watch my reels.
Hey, I'm a proud one of the 12, buddy.
Well,
I will proudly make 13.
Oh gosh.
You got the good number.
I got the good number.
All this accolades and sincerity. I don't have anything prepared for this. I wasn't warned. I don't know what to do.
Well, you're very funny. Oh, look at him. He's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
And Dr. Zero Shadow is grabbing and shaking you, Weasel.
Ah!
I think that's another. I think that's another thing you gotta pay for.
Weaselbones Plus, exclusive.
Yeah, really putting the bones in Weaselbones there.
I don't usually respond to poses that don't include the word try because I'm old school. Yeah, all the furries with receding hairlines know what I'm talking about.
Oh man, why did you have to say that? Because I'm looking back at this guy back here, and I think he feels victimized by that statement. Okay, so we've got through the next part of the video. More people are dying. He's chucking pins in the board, and people are dropping like friggin' flies. Oh my goodness! Wow! And nobody believes him. Every time it happens, people are just like, "Bobby, you're crazy. What are you talking about, Bobby? That's not how things work. Bobby, have another cigarette, Bobby. You're being crazy."
Thrills, chills, cartography.
Yeah, all of that. And, I always kind of thought it was interesting, to say the least, that this movie has one of those. Dr. Zero Shadow says, "What is this public domain Death Note?" Kinda.
I knew it. I told you.
Yeah, you kind of called it right at the top.
I
called it. So, but I've always thought that it was funny or interesting or whatever, that this movie has one of those classic late 50s pulp horror movie titles in I Bury the Living. Ooh. It conjures up things like I eat your flesh, I drink your blood, all those good things. Which, if you haven't seen those movies, go check them out. They're fantastic. I don't think I can get away with showing them on Twitch. I think there's lots of nudity in there. But they're great, and they're well worth your time. Classic grindhouse cinema. Mwah. But with a schlocky name like that, this movie is like, it's almost gothic literature in a way. Like, I feel like this story would be right at place in an Edgar Allan Poe story or a Tennessee Williams play. And as we've talked about already, it's like an extended Twilight Zone episode with the way it dances between reality and surreality, and you're never really sure exactly what's going on. And I just think that's very cool. And it speaks to the sort of nature of horror in general that we talked about earlier, which is that which should not be. And everyone around this guy is just like totally blowing off him dealing with that and it's leaving him looking like a rum-soaked man in the desert who just got dropped off by aliens, and he knows what he saw. So you were sort of talking a little bit about it as the movie was going on, but Nick, you got any thoughts as to how you think this might shake out in our thrilling conclusion?
With plots like these, you always assume what's going to happen is that it gets to a breaking point where he has to try one of the closest non-believers in here, or if they start to believe him, the police presence, then, well, he's going to realize, no, it's not me, it's the board, and I tried to warn you, you fools, and then he reaches for, he either writes their names in, or he finds them in the board, and he does the unthinkable, and he sticks a pin in the one of the cops, or both of them. That's one of the ways that I could see this going, or, because we have the side plot involving the retail store, whatever's going on there, he's going to do something involving the personnel related to the retail business. Either the man he was talking to in the meeting, or a competitor, something like that. But he's going to make a mistake in terms of purposely doing something either to defend himself from suspicion because somebody realizes, actually, you know what? Yeah, the board's killing people and you've been doing this all along. Or he needs to keep his average life before all of this weirdness with the board. So I can see it happening one of those ways. Something that is coming up here, when you're talking about it being kind of Twilight Zone, it feels, its own special way, a lot like the old Weird Tales stories.
Oh, yeah. I don't have anything to tack on to that, but you're right. It very much does have a Weird Tales or EC Comics kind of Tales from the Crypt kind of vibe about it. And that's one of the things that really got me into it when I first started watching the film. Spooky, what do you think might happen?
I will get to the end of this picture and get my life back. I'm hoping. Other than that, nothing. Nothing really comes to.
Yeah, I know you're more wrapped up in your pending Rolex court cases. I understand. You can't talk about them here. I get it.
Not worried about that. You see, because if this is today, that was yesterday, so we're good.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
so you see, Spooky right now is feeling like, okay, you know what? I'm an expert on graveyards, and I've got my business going, but where's my cursed map? Damn it, I need to get looking after this. Is there something happening on eBay right now? I got to get some bids in as soon as this film is over.
Are you?
Yeah, I know. I'm ahead of you, Spooky.
You're the guy that sniped me for that monkey paw the other day, aren't you?
Listen, actually, it's not the only job I do doing Night Mind. I also have to make sure that there are not some certain paranormal aspects out there in society that are messing things up for people. Monkey paws hurt. Monkey paws get people hurt.
Okay.
I should know. There's an upcoming remake of Silent Hill 2 that's coming, and Bloober Team did it.
We're not going to.
Okay, this is what happens.
I have nothing but love and respect for you, but back off.
Hey, Spooky,
all right.
Don't worry. I got a whole drawer full of monkey paws. I'll send you one. Don't worry about it.
Yum. I'm going to put the.
You didn't hear anything. You didn't hear shit.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you keep it that way. But, I'm going to put on my, film analytics hat here for a minute. There's a lot of really cool, teeny tiny little details, right, that are sprinkled all throughout this movie that since we've been, being jagoffs and talking all through it and stuff, we haven't really picked up on, I'm sure. But one of which, I know, I believe that both of you made a comment about the sad clown painting in the one guy's office. In the shot immediately following that one, if you look at the photo that was behind Bobby Kraft, it was a framed portrait of John Wilkes Booth, who is, I'm sure, historically an insignificant guy. But that I think that says a lot about, sort of what the character is doing, or at least what he believes himself to be doing. I thought that was a neat touch. And another one that watching the movie all broken up like this is you don't really get to see it as much. As the movie goes on, the map grows progressively larger and larger. This is a representation of how Bobby Kraft feels like the map is controlling him and controlling the very force of life, its death itself. and like it represents the danger present in this map. It's pretty subtle, but if you sit down and watch the movie like start to finish, you will be like, that map was not that large like 20 minutes ago.
I love that. That's exactly the kind of thing that I was talking about earlier, where there are just quiet touches that are artistic and serve the theme. And if you are noticing certain things, or you listen out, you look out, you will catch these things, and you have so much more of an appreciation.
Yeah, totally. And like it can take something that seems to be kind of base and really move it elsewhere. Oh, I do got a shout out because it's very sweet. Ether Ape, which is a great name. Oh my God. The usernames in this chat are off the chain. Lucy, is my first time watching you. I love your Sona. Of course, I love yours too. Weasel and Nick, you guys, come on. That's very sweet. Thank you very much. No applause, just throw money. But I was saying earlier that I thought this movie was like really ahead of its time with the sort of millennial struggle of I want to do this thing, but tradition says I should be doing something else. But there's a lot of general vibes and stuff that I think are also a lot more modern than some of these other older black and white films. And I really think this would be kind of cool to see a modernization of in the hands of maybe like a Flanagan type if he wasn't being so talky about it. Or like if Neon or A24 like put some money into remaking this film. I think it has like a certain je ne sais quoi, or however you say that word, that make it stand the test of time and would modernize fairly well, especially in the sort of market of artsy fartsy horror films that are so popular right now. And Torture Tag, don't worry, you don't have to give me money. I will take genuine appreciation of existence. I feed on praise, so that works.
It's how we work. Yeah, emo
yeah,
boys.
Why do you think I'm in front of a camera right now? Come on. But, I could sing the virtues of throwback black and white horror movies all day. That's why some of you who follow me on TikTok. That's kind of the thing I do all the time. But we're here for some good old-fashioned edutainment. And puppets and catmen and all that good stuff. So I got some more questions for our resident cemetery expert, and then we're going to take like a quick 5, and then we'll come back and finish the movie up, okay? But don't worry, I got lots of cool stuff that's going to fill up the 5. We got trailers and commercials and all sorts of neat stuff. Please hang out. I'm really proud of this intermission. I think you'll enjoy it. But Spooky, pick up the phone!
Wee woo.
So it seems to me like the stress is really, really getting to Bobby here. The human mind is a fragile and interesting thing, really pitiful, honestly. How do you think humans who work in the death industry cope with feeling like arbiters between the forces of life and death?
Yeah, it's a really big question. You got to cope with it sometime. It's going to get to you. I find that the best way that I've seen is to learn how to develop your creepy old groundskeeper quirk. And you got a lot of options there. There's a lot of ways you can go with it. You can have a funny accent. That's what we're seeing right now. You can also have a hunchback. You can walk with a gnarled old wooden cane, and you can kind of poke people with it. And, what do you think you know about graveyards? Poke, 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 poke. That's a good way to go.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I like that.
Yeah, one of my favorites. You can develop a reedy, high-pitched laugh. So when someone it's just a normal graveyard. I keep telling you, old man. You can go.
That was also really good. Whoa, you were born for that.
Sometimes what color is your parachute and all that. You end up where you're supposed to be, and then something I haven't seen enough of this. I think there's a lot of potential here. You can put a chessboard in your little hovel or whatever, with pieces arranged on the board as if to raise the question, who is he playing against?
Whoa, that's playing the long game, because you never know when somebody's going to be in your hovel.
That is the intimidation and mystery factor that others simply do not bring to the table.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you stay creepy, you don't got to get creepy.
Oh, I gotta shout out to Iron Fox here. What about the lesser common trait of mass and swollen knees and legs? The old Torgo path. Big ups to Torgo.
Big up,
Manos, the hands of fate. Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, well, and that in a way is kind of, in a way, you kind of raise the issue with the swollen knees thing because it automatically invites Torgo comparison. Wrists are unexplored territory. Swollen ears.
Yeah, nobody wants to tread the Torgo waters anymore. It's been done.
Right. 2 3 kick turn, kick turn.
Whoa. Kickball change.
It's enough to make you heave.
Yeah, come on, get some new shit. Somebody do the Dougie. Okay, another one for you. On a similar note, humans have all kinds of ghost stories and urban legends about the graveyard. It seems to me like a graveyard is the least likely place to be haunted in the grand scheme of things, since it's kind of like a sort of kitschy bed and breakfast for the less living, What are your thoughts on this?
Well, you do make a point, and we have a saying that being a ghost in a cemetery is kind of like being an overprivileged douchebag in Goldman Sachs, because you are where you're supposed to be, but they didn't really need another one. However, if you're into the musical theater, that is where you want to haunt, because that is the best place to meet your barbershop quartet and your chorus groups. They tend to congregate. You get your barbershop quartet all floating eerily out of the gravestones. That's where you want to be. There is, however, always the risk of being drafted into an evil army, because your headstone is kind of like doxing yourself. So if your headstone is going to end up saying something like, Bobby the Head Taker, consider cremation. That's all I'm saying.
Man, Bobby the Head Taker, really great guy, sweetheart, totally.
Oh, you wouldn't believe wild rice casserole, spectacular that he makes.
Yeah, I've heard the spinach puffs are out of this world. Oh well, Torture Deck says, "What about Johnny the Head Giver?" Call me. Call me.
He's seriously an absolute hack to work with. Does not memorize his lines. You wouldn't believe the unprofessionalism. One time, he left the craft table in a state. I shouldn't start. I really shouldn't start. We'll be here all day.
Would you say that he only kept his position through backroom means?
I wouldn't say that. You can.
So I'm
right.
sure
you gotta keep
might...
a professional air about the history of those you've worked with. Sorry.
He's very litigious and also an asshole. So
I see.
And also an asshole. So before wrapping up this truly profound series of questions, and I really do appreciate all your completely founded expertise. I feel like I've learned so very much.
For sure.
I wanted to ask you, as a cemetery expert, if you were to open your very own graveyard, what would that look like? What would really make the spooky Weaselbones post-life resting experience extravaganza something special?
Okay. I actually don't have a joke for this because my passions are so overwhelming in this area. Okay, everyone, after the stream, I want everyone to Google Wacky Pomo. Okay, WACKY space POMO. Okay, Wacky Pomo. This is the design trend that was around in the 90s. It's the Nickelodeon store. It's like the Lucky Charms experience or whatever at the Mall of America. That is what it would look like. And I could not shake that vision, and I could not come up with any fucking jokes because that's just what it would be.
Oh man, you can't beat honesty. You can't.
The
beat
Wacky
honesty.
Pomo graveyard. I love it.
The Wacky Pomo graveyard.
I would take all of my headshots there. I'm not gonna lie to you. That sounds pretty awesome.
I'd hang out there.
And when you Google it, click the link from the Consumer Aesthetics Research Institute, not the Aesthetics Wiki.
Okay.
Whoa, he's even got the good Wacky Pomo shit. This guy Pomos. This guy Pomos.
This guy Pomos.
And
He's
I
wacky,
see,
but not like that.
Yeah, I see chat is loving the Wacky Pomo, so that's very good.
Good to
So,
hear.
Nick, what would your ideal cemetery extravaganza experience be like?
Oh God, it's hard because I've been living in New England for a while as a concentrated place, and we have some of the best stuff. You can hit so many graveyards that are still technically historical. You will come across headstones from the Revolution. Not even kidding. Mixed in with other more modern headstones, and it can really be like the classic Poe and old film idea of a graveyard where you have the big trees and you have the big rolling hills and all of these like classic shaped headstones sticking up, and it's barely legible anymore, where people would come and do grave robbings. It's so hard to actually say anything beyond what has been around. The only thing that could be more magical than the classic New England graveyard that's big enough to really like look out and say, like, stretch out your arms and say, look at this, is if there was a pumpkin patch in it too.
Okay, yeah. And then, yeah, see, that's another revenue stream like we were talking about earlier. So, it all comes full circle. I think my graveyard experience would be open bar and a dark ride, but the animatronics are just the corpses that are buried there.
Oh, that is grisly. Fund it.
Wow.
Fund it.
Yeah. And
now.
I will be sued because they will be singing Grim Grinning Ghosts. It's just gonna happen.
I will hit a Dunkin'. I'll come right in that graveyard. I'll hop on the ride. I'll sip my pumpkin cold brew while the corpses flail around me. I will be in love with the whole scene. I will be energized for all of autumn. One trip.
Yeah, and we will have air fresheners hanging everywhere because the smell would be unbearable.
And when people ask you how you died, you can just say, I was just at Dunkin'.
Oh, come on. All right, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break because I'm sure this guy and this guy's arm are tired. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. I got a lot of cool trailers and commercials and stuff queued up for you. It'll be about 5 minutes. We'll be right back, I promise. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and flex. Ooh, I go to the gym. Ooh,
I sure do. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're just terrifyingly muscular.
I love the you got gains, Smokey. You got gains.
Yeah, what's your creatine intake like? We'll talk about it during the break. We'll talk about
however much creatine they put inside of Snickers bars, about that much.
Oh man. All right, guys, feel free to hang out. We got some cool videos coming up. I'm kicking you out. I'm kicking you out. I'm kicking me out. And yeah, enjoy the show. We will be right back, everybody. Oh, I should have had this run up better.
Oh, the time is now. The time is here. Or a big box filled with a popcorn. Oh, the time is now, the time is here. Now's the time for a bite of cheer. A tasty light where the price is right. Well, look here, you'll dig this sight. The moment's handy for a piece of candy. Just name your brand, they're all so grand. Hey, what do you think of a nice cool drink? Or a big box filled with a popcorn thrill? Let your taste buds meet with an ice cream treat. Refresh yourselves, it's time to eat. So come on, folks, let's join the band as we all head for the refreshment stand.
Are you hungry? Are you contemptible slime? Are you an absolute gutter mongrel? Hey, why else would you be here? Spooky Weaselbones brand Red Hots. They're good, they're legal, and they're legal. The only hot dogs guaranteed to make you say, oh my god, what happened? What do I do? Who do I call? I just started eating Spooky brand Red Hots a couple of days ago, and I've never felt better, and they're delicious. Get out of here. Don't care. Bye. So come on down to one of our over 5 locations where you'll enjoy unique features like Take a Pickle, Leave a Pickle, the Mustard River, Nacho Cheese Sauce from our very own spring, and mandatory heartburn. Today, reports continuing to flood in alleging that Spooky Weaselbones brand hot dogs are made from cut-up bicycle tires. That's how we make them bouncy. I, Sparky G. Wobblestones, do certify that our hot dogs are normal, and normal things happen when they're around. So if you've got problems you're not interested in fixing, come on We're closed!
Opportunity to examine other classic horror movies. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel anytime. So call now to get Frankenstein at the special introductory price of just $14.99. Have your credit card ready. Here's how to order.
To order your classic horror video cassette, call 1-800-356-1500 or send just $14.99 plus $3.20.
The motion picture.
Oh, there we go. We're back, everybody. Oh my goodness gracious, what was that? I gotta talk to Spooky about that broadcast signal intrusion I just experienced. That was something else. And Dr. Shadow, yeah, that I don't think it's out on the YouTubes or whatever. It will be when I put the archive of the stream up, assuming everything works. But yeah, you can check it out on his Instagram. He didn't plug it, but I'll do it because he deserves it. That's at Spooky Weaselbones. He's got the little guy as the picture. You should go give him a follow because he's a very funny dude, and I love the guy. I'm just so glad he was able to come in. Hey, Nicky, you around? I'm going to bring you in here if you're around. There you are. Are you there? There you are. Oh, he's hanging out. I'm going to let him go for a minute. And I'm going to keep screaming. And again, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. This I Bury the Living is one of my favorite old black and white movies. And I'm just really glad that people came by to watch it. It's a whole lot of fun. And I'm glad you all are having a good time with us. My esteemed co-hosts are in the wings getting ready. I see them prettying up back there. Hey, put the powder puff down. You look fine. Let's see. Here we got Spooky. We got Nick. Okay, everybody's done mirror gazing. And yeah, everything's good. All right.
I'm sorry. I have a habit of lingering in the mirror for about 15 minutes longer than usual.
I'm
trying to bring it down. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to bring it down.
I do the same thing, but I have a policy against apologizing, so I'm not sorry for doing that.
And Spooky, that's why you're incredibly real. And Cocomello, thank you very much. I used to do these regular. I kind of fell off for a minute. I'm trying to get back on the horse. This is a season premiere of sorts, and I kind of got some really wicked guests for it. It's going to be hard to follow. But yeah, Spooky, I got to talk to you. That broadcast intrusion, was that necessary?
I think that you're going to have to ask the good people at Weaselbones Industries if they deserve to keep the lights on and the meat grinder turning. If you don't believe in American commerce, just say that.
I do love those little hot dogs.
Well, thank you.
They're so bouncy.
It's important. No one quite knows how we do it.
I heard it was bicycle tires, but I don't know. That could be hearsay.
It most,
Man,
it most
that would explain
definitely
why
is.
some of those hot dogs keep me running.
It means one of two things. Someone talked, or there's no second thing, because it's been 2.5 hours.
Oh man!
And the Wayne Brady juices are drained out of me.
Oh,
Don't ask me to make up any Nickelback songs on the spot, because the
no
regular lyrics of "It's Not Like You to Say Sorry" will come out unaltered with no theming.
The bits are done. No more bits. No more bits.
I can't believe you just brought up an old Nickelback hit before everybody decided they were vilified.
Yeah, that was crazy how that happened, right? Like they were on top of the world, and then everyone was like, "This is lame. This is lame. Why this is
Nobody hated them coming up. All of a sudden, when they broke through the pop radio, all of a sudden it's like, ew, Nickelback. Everybody hates it. Like, guys, where were you during the entire last half of the 90s and early 2000s?
Post grunge. Yeah, I got nothing for that.
Ska revival. Yeah.
Oh, Ska Revival, Brian Setzer Orchestra. I can just name bands. We can do that. That's a show, right?
I love that. I love that. That's a great way to just like that. That's a good sign. That's how you know the bonfire party is over. When someone says, "Hey, Reverend Horton Heat, Tom Waits."
You're talking like, are you reading my Spotify right now? This is crazy. Oh man! All right, guys.
Eat steak, eat a big old steer. Eat steak. Do we have one here? I refuse to let the evening proceed. I am done with my insecurities about being the one who dominates the conversation, and all of my worst impulses have now taken over. And it's gonna take a nuke. I'm done.
He got into the marching powder backstage. Okay, we're gonna get the movie going, folks, before I say some more questionable things. Here we go. Time for the thrilling conclusion of I Bury the Living. Let's wrap this pony up and hope to God it doesn't freak the hell out again. But yes, Artesia Hecate, how do you say? God, California has poisoned me. I pronounce everything like it's in Spanish. Hecate, right. Being true to yourself is very important, Spooky, so do your thing.
Thank you.
Hey, pass the keys, by the way.
Yeah, that map is bigger.
I see you, fella. I wish us to.
Yeah, you sound like my ex-wife.
Oh.
Come on. I'll drive you home.
These are the jokes, everybody.
Gun in the drawer.
You three men made a terrible contribution to this town tonight, whether you meant to or not. I'm not going anywhere, Uncle George. I'm staying right here.
Well, I admit that what was Charlie and
I too get nervous and stutter when a guy pulls a gun out of a drawer.
And Henry and Isham and Beth and Stu.
Stop looking at the map.
And Marsha.
So this is not just a family tradition of inheritance. It's a family tradition of figuring this out. And then somebody coming by to say, "Oh, yeah, crack that case."
Now listen. We've run out of ways to try and coerce you into doing these pins. You're gonna have to have your own reason that you keep doing it from now on.
So far, everyone.
Coco Mallow with the analytics here. I like that there's a light above the map. It shows its visual importance.
Yeah, that's how you know that's where the health pack is.
Yeah. Or the sandwich if you got a heavy running around.
See, if you walk right up to the map, it initiates the next cutscene.
I think there is a heavy running around. I think he's right there by the map.
Oh no! He's gonna get out Natasha.
Yeah. I like the part. Me and Sandwich are coming for you, little babies. Kaboom. We must push, little wagon.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, we gotta play TF2 together, Spooky. Oh my God.
Yeah. We'll go through and we'll go ruin a bunch of 12-year-olds' day.
Yeah.
A bunch of 12-year-olds and 40-year-old like neo-Nazis.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, it's a bizarrely okay. This is weird. The other day I was in a TF2 server. This is real shit. This is embarrassing to admit. I was in a TF2 server, and it came to light that nobody. I don't know why I chose this as the historical landmark. Nobody in the server had heard of Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl. That knowledge stops at like 1999, basically.
That's wild.
Oh my God, that was the biggest thing in the world for a while.
My uncle just left.
Yeah, it's all anyone talked about.
It's the reason that YouTube's stock went up. I mean,
no matter how ridiculous the situation seems to you.
Imagine your tits being that powerful.
Oh man, imagine that.
No, Nick, you can't talk. You can't talk.
I
know. Come on.
Look at him down there. This is like a sexy Brady Bunch thing we got going on.
Oh yeah. And that's how they became the Puppet and VTuber Bunch. It doesn't roll off the tongue. We gotta throw that to R&D. That's the word I was looking for.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure out a package for it. Whole media rollout. Oh no!
Oh no, they're making me tiny. Oh, never mind. That was just a cat.
Are you sure your uncle was out there tonight? You didn't just think you saw him?
There were a lot of phone conversations in this film.
2 hours ago, no sign of him anyplace.
It certainly makes the call sheet easier to write down.
First hour, he's not on the
Ah, come on.
Oh, did he kill the uncle?
Did he?
Is that where it's gonna go when he really flips over knowingly to the dark side? Is he's gonna end the family members who keep this rolling?
I like that fade out the gray, by the way.
Yeah, you know, we couldn't afford black, so it's close as we could get. Again, lit like complete shit. Can't see anything.
Oh,
They actually developed this movie at a Walgreens.
Yeah,
that's
they
nice
didn't.
about you.
They didn't spring for the premium either. You know.
It must have been hell a lot of the time seeing how footage turned out in the way back. And I just realized that, no, we can't go back for this.
I can't use this. I can't use it.
Hair in the gate. Yeah.
Oh, hair in the gate. Oh, perish the thought.
Oh, okay. You lost me with that one. I would like an explanation, please.
Okay, I guess I have to once again lift the kayfabe and say things that are true. So something that can happen on your reflex cine camera that is running film through it is that the gate, the part that opens and closes to let the light in and expose the image, it can get something caught in it, and then you actually see it, like kind of at the bottom of the frame, you'll see little hairs, and those are stuck down there. And so that's why at the end of every, cut, gate check, they look for the hairs in the gate.
Oh, wow. I thought they were just looking for like looky-loos at the gates.
They're gonna go Sonny Corleone and smash their cameras.
Yeah. Good night. Oh, wait, wrong one again. Sorry. Good night, Scored. Thank
Good
you
night,
for coming by.
Scored.
Enjoyed your time.
Oh boy, so he's doing it. Yep, he took out a whole committee.
Oh,
and these other dudes just having a hell of a time. What a life they could be to sit down and just carve tombstones.
Man, the simpler times. Eating cabbage soup, carving gravestones, drinking whiskey.
The part of the Bucket family that they didn't show in the movie.
He's looking a little disheveled, just a little off today.
Yeah. Okay, we need your body language to be deeply uncomfortable. Go.
Any answer for what happens after sundown?
Oh, here come the police.
Ooh,
This angle's
ooh.
coming in now. Is that your girl in the back who you want to take to luncheon?
Oh, you know it is. She says, Bobby never took me to luncheon. I think he's doing terrible things.
Yeah. You should have just taken her to luncheon.
You could have gone and had a nice French dip, and everything would have been fine.
The
Some nice
loyalty
cucumber
was that
sandwiches.
easy, Robert.
Ooh, I do love a good cucumber sandwich.
Irresistible.
Aren't I crazy?
I too have my best kisses from the back of a cop car.
I never change, I'm afraid.
Now
That's
who's
pretty
telling
good story,
facts?
too.
Annie, I'll see you later.
Nick, I'm sorry. I feel like I talk over you basically because you have the courtesy to not scream everything you say.
Oh, sorry.
I did see you and I did hear you.
You're in a very screamy room right now.
I'm sorry, my natural register is so low. I was so trained to it.
Oh, I've got such a sultry, deep, wonderful voice. Oh my God. Not
Meanwhile-
like you yelling yahoos over here.
Meanwhile, I'm at the library like, do you know where I can find fiction?
Where do you keep the nudie books at?
I have both. Follow me.
The importers?
Yeah, you got a lot to learn about puppet kind. We are this way.
Yeah.
And I love you for it. It's okay. You might rub off on me.
There he goes.
We'll see. We'll see.
What's that bit from Austin Powers? I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice.
I'm sick and tired of you pushing me around. Oh shit! Now it's just another bonfire party in 2005. We're just quoting Austin Powers. Soon we're gonna be talking about what we want to do after we graduate.
Oh,
Spoiler
no.
alert: we don't do it.
No.
At least not yet.
Oh, and thank you, Artesia. I know.
Yeah,
This is. I'm imposing all of my issues on the world.
You're thinking that we tricked you into killing.
That's what
Jacob
you gotta
Mitchell.
do.
Well,
You
you're
grab the
100%
world
right.
and you
It's
say,
finally
it's
latched
your
on.
problem now.
This one's on the police.
I'm big enough to hold
You
it.
see, Jacob Middle's in the prime of life. No previous major illnesses. No
Whoa!
life expectancy.
They do have a point,
exceptionally
Nick.
good.
You have been a puppet in a previous
Paris
life,
with
so
all that ocean water
you might have a
protected
latent
from
memory. That explains the screaming you just did.
Up
I
until
think,
now,
yeah.
all the deaths have been confined to the local area.
It kicked in.
If it's
Yeah,
struck
it
somebody
happens.
on another continent, then we
Yeah,
really found
once you go felt, you'll never be smelt. I don't know. I'm workshopping it.
Ago. Even the map.
Once you go felt, you'll be not heard, but felt.
No, you can rhyme felt with felt. I think that's good.
I am not a mumble rapper. I do not rhyme same word with same word.
You might have a career in it, though. You never know.
Once you go felt, you'll always feel something way up deep inside.
Oh, don't I know it?
Ooh, hot fire.
Except 7 pins went in.
Man, man, I'm gonna go on a little TikTok tirade. There was a puppet on TikTok who got rightfully run through the ringer for posting a bunch of like weird homophobic stuff at some point. And I just remember thinking, like, how are you gonna be homophobic when you have a grown man's hand up your butt all day?
Boom.
It isn't
And then you play with puppets. Oh!
Oh my God! Whoa! Whoa! Hot
Rebound.
fire! Hot fire! I bring the alley, you bring the oop.
I want to point out right now, the movie is recapping the most difficult to forget plot of all time. The famous 7-act structure. Man puts black pin in board. Someone dies off screen. Repeat 7 times.
Look, they're making sure you go. A lot of people were probably like making whoopee at the drive-in while this was happening. So you gotta, or puppets were screaming over the movie.
All the post-screening surveys were like, when were they gonna do the pins?
Yeah, I never saw the
I was
pin.
too busy pinning. I didn't notice.
Whoa!
Hey, look who's in the mix.
Yeah, our lewd and bad humor is rubbing off. We're like terrible older cousins at this point.
Oh, it's not really rubbing off so much as it's just activating. It's all
Yeah, being freed. Yeah. This
Your
is
fans are
Nocturne
gonna-
Unchained.
You think this tongue is just for the sight gag? Come on now.
Oh no, I know.
Your next video is going to be like, "Who's ready for a meme sandwich?"
Yeah, it's just gonna be like a lot of sandwich talk and like
Apropos of nothing, do you people like sport peppers?
Oh, and the Doomsday, you got a great point. This was back when movies had intermissions, even though this has like a whole runtime of an hour uninterrupted. But they did just throw intermissions in movies to get you go buy popcorn and hot dogs and shit. So yeah, that could be a very good point for the recap.
That's true, yeah. I do forget about that.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Oh, hang on, I gotta get my Sesame Street singing on. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Oh, we have to do Muppet dancing. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Henson, call me.
I couldn't refuse the job.
No, but you could have refused the board.
What would my father think?
Power.
All right, Shatner, let's get the next word out.
Line.
It's coming out kind of like a Rob Zombie sample.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah, I'm waiting for the any second now. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You could try this.
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
Fuck it. I'm just doing it. Whatever.
Oh, now we're getting juicy.
This guy has a future
man.
in video game quality assurance testing.
Oh, yes. Bring us the zombies.
I do love that that's the face of a truly broken man.
He didn't even know they were rolling.
He's like, But you're also very right, Doomsday. This is an awesome little piece of cinematography. It looks great. It gets the story across. It's awesome.
The sequencing, too, is so powerful for that. They really knew that like this is the centerpiece that they needed.
Oh, yeah. That whole sequence is in the trailer. So horror movies have always been giving away the whole movie in trailers.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Ba-dum-bum.
I thought that guy's name was Henry Trombone for a minute.
Why do they want me to do these parents?
Oh no!
Aw, what are you doing?
He's having a moment. If I could just put these in order, God, motherfucker.
It's no time for puzzles. Come on, Robert. You just raised up zombies. What? Oh, wow. Wow.
Very big. Very big.
And it's glowing.
I like to think he's like, wait a minute, this thing wasn't like that before.
Hold on. All right, is he starting a fire? Yeah, it seems like he's starting a fire.
Billy Joel would be so pissed.
We had the same joke. Oh my god.
Sorry. I'll try to leave some more morsels on the bone there for you.
No, yours was definitely better. I was just gonna sing the song.
That's great. It starts with a black pin and something.
An aeroplane, one of those.
Oh wait, that's the other song where they say words real fast.
Down the luncheon.
Let's see. Oh shit.
Leonard Bernstein.
Yeah, I remember that part.
The map as we know
We
it.
know it.
The remix.
That was some good composition there.
Oh yeah, like it's everyone in chat. Like, if you're even mildly interested, go seek this movie out and watch it without a bunch of yahoos talking over it, because it is a very good film, and you can get it on the Internet Archive while it still exists. So jump on there, man.
Why did you stay inside?
There was some kind of poison lacquer on this wood I tried to burn, and I passed out.
Oh, we forgot it's the 50s. Everything's poison.
It's got lead in it. I don't know where, but it does.
Someone has a comment about how the word zombie has been morphed by cinema. That is the kind of sticklerism that I appreciate. You are correct.
Oh, here, let me highlight that one there. But yeah, I suppose you could say something like living dead or undead. I always liked living dead for zombies. I thought that's a cool word. But there you go. You got the Spooky Weaselbones seal of approval. That's good for $3.99 off at your local Charlie Stubbs.
I never said that. I will never honor that. But good comment.
Yeah, it's an issue that's existed for as long as the cinema's been doing it, and it just completely migrated into mainstream culture as it is. But it is good that conversations have happened to like just trace things back to where did they actually come from, and just bring around that understanding.
Oh yeah, and there's tons of like really fun, easy to make fun of movies that I can't in good conscience play because they got random white dudes acting like, you know, native people of an island. And talking all kinds of ways and covered in shoe polish. It's terrible, terrible stuff.
Yep.
And now the grave's empty. They're walking the earth, Robert.
They're coming to get you, Robert.
Why don't you get out of here, Flinchley?
Whoa, we got all the hits.
What if he just burned the map? Yeah, you gotta kind of question why he didn't start under the map.
You never burn a cursed object. I thought that was like common knowledge.
I've seen so many times where somebody's burned the cursed object.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You never saw Paranormal Activity? You remember what happened when they burned the Ouija board? No. No way.
Oh no! My coat got stuck on the grave! Help!
That was my good coat!
I always loved the lots of running part of the old movie.
Yeah, with great orchestral sounds. Yeah, without his jacket, how's he going to handle that totally not Los Angeles weather? Graphing, man's giving Forrest Gump a run for his money. A run for his money. Come on.
Life is like a box of push pins.
Sometimes you kill people. Sometimes they get out of the grave.
Put something else on the map now.
What happens if I put a bullet in the map?
A whole section of the graveyard just explodes.
Yeah.
Dirt,
And then,
tombstones, corpses go flying.
Or maybe
And
they
then Jamie
get
Heineman-
projectile resistance. That looks so cool. I can't even bullshit. That's a great shot. No, don't do it. You're so sexy. Haha.
I can't believe you pulled that one out.
It's the internet poisoning.
Rosamond, I don't... Yes?
Can't you hear me? This is Rosamund Middle. Jay's wife.
Rosamond, yes.
Just received a cable, Bob. Can't you hear me?
You just received a cable from Paris, France.
That's right. I'll read it again.
Regret. Jacob W. Middle died in Hotel Royale. Body awaits disposition. Signed, American Embassy, Paris, France.
Look out behind you, Bobby!
Died in Paris.
The plot.
Oh no! I almost missed it.
Is this the man with the
W. Middle.
vaguely European accent?
As you know, we love to dine on haggis.
I never drink Guinness.
What? You still think that thing's the killer? Or your own
The
puny
Geller?
power, Mr. Chairman?
What is going on with his hair?
You or that map ever had with
Look
me,
at that.
so far as killing goes.
That's a whole lot of straw.
Oh yeah. Well, he really should have laid off the 40-volume bleach, but he wanted that powder white look, you know.
Honey, that wig is so thirsty.
To be fair, it comes through very nice in the coloring of the camera.
And mighty committee, turning out a man with 40 years of service on the grounds.
I also like the liquid latex old man makeup he's got going on his jowls there.
Totally.
Like, what? You really cannot find the weather-beaten Scottish guy to play this? Seriously?
Well, it's
Throw a
LA.
rock.
It's very hot for them there, I think.
This is my hills, my lands, my activities. Aye. We come a long, dark road to put this gun to your head, Bob.
Andy, we never tried to take anything away from you.
Aye. I made sure of that. I snuck up on each one of them in turn when they was alone and held them fast like so. until
Like
they
so.
went.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Even big old George, your uncle.
The emergency exits are to your right and to your left.
No smoking in the
What
theater.
happened to Middle? Middle's dead.
Will you stop that confounded talk, man? That map's not but a doodad. You fool. There is
So
nothing
it
to
was
fear
him.
here.
Yeah, there was no supernatural element to begin with ever!
Ah,
Boom! Twist, baby!
damn. Oh, that's a hell of a shot.
Yeah, it's very cool. It makes me think of the lighthouse.
Yeah.
La Jetée vibes.
La Jetée. La Jetée. I don't know what La Jetée is.
You ever seen 12 Monkeys?
No, you're checking my bona fides right now, and I'm failing.
Hey, hey, you know, I don't even mean to like put anyone in a spot like that.
Finished you are with
Oh, no, please. I'm fine admitting I don't know things. I'm really good at it.
Right now. Talk about anything else. Now.
Oh, what game is he playing?
Yeah, somebody sample that.
Because
That's
I
kind of
caused
cool.
you to kill those people. Andy, you better get this straight right now. You heard that, Lieutenant. It's possible for some people
I am the human cuckoo clock.
things inside them
Ah.
that make other things
P.T.
happen.
Barnum would have made a killing.
Nothing is impossible for a man like that.
He
if
ticks,
thinks
he
about
talks.
it hard
Can
enough.
your heart stand?
I know you, Andy. You're no killer.
That's pretty cool. Man,
made
you just
Yeah,
got
it
them
just
all.
keeps
You
kicking
got
it
them
back in
all.
as soon as
Oh,
it turns
jeez.
over.
Then they
Well, you can see what skills I acquired instead of long division, basically.
Hey, I'm right there with you, buddy, but my voices aren't quite as good.
Well, don't. I refuse to let you down talk yourself.
Oh, no, I'm not down talking myself. I'm up talking you, man.
shucks.
It was
I
the
do love how
beating
they
of the cursed clock heart thing.
Andy, stop it. There's nobody.
It's hammer time.
I do like that the guy just sort of gave up on acting there. He's like, stop. It's nothing.
No.
He's so tired. After all that running, after inhaling smoke on set, he's just like, okay, can we finish the film?
No, I think in that time he probably needed more cigarettes. They were good for you back then.
That's true. That's true. Doctor's orders.
Yeah,
I
smoke
forgot
some
about the
cigarettes about it.
recommendation.
Don't trust air you can't see.
Who invented the air, really? You know who invented your Marlboros.
Little fight. Give me all the fight.
Hey, that scene went crazy, though. That was awesome.
Save me.
It's the police.
That was kind of a Keystone Cops entrance.
He's just dead?
He's dead, Lieutenant. I forget the normal.
Conveniently dead.
Yeah. Well, it was all the whiskey. It got to him.
Yeah.
It's bad for your liver. He died of, what is it, cirrhosis? Yeah, that one.
He held on until it was the most cinematic it could be.
Yeah.
That's a trooper. That's a hero.
He's a
When they cut him
professional.
open, they just find a bunch of pickles.
Whoa! Tasty.
They help.
Lieutenant, Jacob Middle died in France.
That was a plant, Mr. Kraft. Middle's all right. Sorry we had to put you through this, but it was the best way to make McKee come out in the open.
Mrs. Middle stayed up all night at headquarters, waiting for us to call in.
Our radio car is posted just outside. We signaled her to phone you and tell you that.
It was all a lie. All police do is lie.
We're sorry we let you go slowly insane. We had to catch a guy.
Yeah, our bad.
Are you okay? We're not going to do anything if you're not. Just, are you okay?
Which,
Wonder what got into him.
if they watched him do that, why did they need to do this whole ruse?
Yeah. Well, guys.
It was a prank, bro.
I think I'm going to take my girl to the luncheon. Credits roll.
Yeah. So how's about
damn
that
luncheon.
French dip, baby?
We'll never be rid of that damn luncheon.
No.
Annie, I lost my overcoat.
Oh, where? Which one? I'll get it.
You know who can fall apart in a movie is Humphrey Bogart.
See, that's true. That's true. He falls
yeah.
apart at the seams.
That man can turn into a bunch of newspapers in a rainstorm.
Newspapers in a rainstorm.
And like every great killer, the map will rise again.
For the sequel, I Bury the Living 2, The Reblooding.
Son of Map.
The end.
Son of Map. That's pretty good. We made it. We lived.
Yeah.
We made it through the damn movie, guys. Wow.
Woo! Salute in chat.
Wow. We lived. Oh, hold on. Yeah, something like that.
Oh my God! People who can salute with me, amazing!
Yeah.
You guys are the best. That's it. Best collab I've ever had.
Yeah, puppetry, baby. We got all the stuffs.
Oh,
Look,
I wish
watch,
I was in Costco. Hooray, hooray.
Hooray.
To spend my cash in Costco land, blah, 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 in Costco.
Hey, they do got good hot dogs.
But
look,
Don't change it. People will die.
But, and you know, that's right. What is it if you change the price of the
you change the
motherfucking
price,
hot dog?
I'll fucking kill you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's real. That dude has that dog in him, you might say.
Yeah.
But to your point about us being able to salute, Puppet's got all kinds of talents. Did you know I'm a ventriloquist? Yeah, your stunned silence speaks volumes. But yeah, check it out. Watch. Hey guys, this is me. I'm throwing my voice. I'm not moving my lips. Isn't this impressive? Okay, it's kind of hard to keep up. But
Oh,
yeah,
here. Throw your voice into my mouth. Here, go again.
Okay. My name's Spooky Weaselbones. I totally don't get involved in any weird illegal activities. I'm a totally upstanding normal person with no outstanding litigation.
I love it. Amazing.
Yeah, we practiced that pretty hard. So, gotta know, Spooky, what'd you think of the movie? As much of it as you saw.
For the parts where I was not wearing my voice out. Yeah, I thought that they more or less managed to point the camera at what was happening. I have to give them points for that. And every now and then they managed to turn the lights on as well. So more points in that direction. I thought that, they could have come up with some other reason for him to put pins in the map other than other people around him constantly insisting that he do that.
It's in the SOP, like you got to do it that way, or else you're gonna get a write up if you don't. And so, Nick, what did you think of the parts you could pay attention to?
I think you're definitely right in that it runs itself like a long Twilight Zone episode. The twist is cool that there was nothing paranormal going on, but there was kind of just, I guess, with the uncle coming in and talking about, so you figured it out, huh? Maybe he was talking about what actually was going on with the groundskeeper. Maybe there was a deal the entire time of the groundskeeper works for the family to get rid of certain people. And part of that deal is you will be able to work here forever. If you got job security, you have a home here. But keep us in business. I love the twist. And I'm a sucker for a director of photography who loves their job. And they really loved it, like from the halfway point of the movie all the way to the end. You really felt them going to town. It's like, yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah, if nothing else, this will be good for my reel.
Yeah, there you go. And like, I don't. It's neat, it's like they put your butt in the seat and they make you wait. Like we talked at the beginning, you were like, oh, the pace is actually moving kind of fast. But then it doesn't really start going until about the halfway point, which is the case for a lot of these older horror films. They either run all the way out the gates and sort of tire themselves out about 30 minutes in and they don't have much new to show you, or you're going to sit there for, like, case in point, like House on Haunted Hill is one of my all-time favorite movies. I got it on tape right there. Oh, it's on display. It's in the front.
Ooh, neat.
And I love that movie, but nothing happens for until they find the head in the box. Nothing happens, and then you sort of wait until the part with the skeleton at the end. But it's just the vibes are immaculate, and this one I think it feels really modern in the way the story plays out. I think anyway.
I think so too. And it's amazing to think about how back then the storytelling conventions were a little different in that way, where they did have set up and they kind of moved fast, but the really here comes the juice of it, and here come the hooks kind of come out more midway over the film and really just crank it up in the second half. I wonder if because there were intermissions, it was a known style to train audiences to come back after the intermission to finish out the film.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because if you sit down and watch them, it's always like really kind of slow exposition. You're meeting the characters, you're sort of finding out the setting and what the idea is. And then right before the halfway mark, one crazy thing will happen. And then that's generally where they'd say, all right, go get your soda pops and your popcorn and your Valium. I don't know what they were handing out in the 50s. And then by the time you come back, like the true blue horror stuff starts. And I think that's it's a cool thing to look at. And I would love to be able to go to a theater that runs one of these movies that way. That would be neat. Like I know up Chicago way, there's the Music Box is the theater.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an iconic sort of art housey, small, old theater. And they're always doing 35 millimeter prints of your Things, and your Carries and all that. But I've got a lot of friends in the Chicagoland area that keep trying to get me out there, and they tempt me with all these music box shows. Like they played House on Haunted Hill recently and did all the theater gimmicks. They swung the skeleton from the ceiling and all of that. And yeah, I would just die for that kind of a theater experience. I think that's just awesome. And I feel like more movies could do something like that now. Like, have you guys ever seen the film Incantation?
I can't say I have.
Oh, so Incantation is a movie from Taiwan. It came out in 2022, I want to say. It's available on Netflix if you're a subscriber over there. But it's sort of a found footagey thing, but they harken back to that old school theater thing. I won't say exactly how because it's sort of a large reveal in the movie, but it's they encourage audience participation in a way I haven't seen a movie do in a long time, and I thought that was very neat. So that's the Lucy Ball rec for any of you in chat who haven't seen it. Go check out Incantation, and turn off all the lights and get into it. It's an awesome movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I gotta get out to Chicago now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, me too, man. Shit, like their horror scene is outrageous. I've come to find out. So it's pretty cool town from the sound of it. I haven't got out there yet. Chad, I know you're gonna be watching this one of these days. I'm gonna go. Stop yelling at me. So Spooky, you're our sort of resident cemetery graveyard creep expert guy. If you were Bobby Kraft, how would you have handled this situation differently?
Well, there is an advanced technique I wouldn't recommend for beginners, and of course he was a beginner, but sometimes you have to, sometimes you have greatness thrust upon you. You could always try leaving it alone with the fucking pins.
Get a spreadsheet. Open up Excel, for God's sake.
I mean, I'm praying for my guy.
How about you?
I don't know to whom, but yeah.
How would you handle this situation?
Spooky's got a point. It really was as simple as, okay, I inherited the place, the groundskeeper has it, I just have to do some paperwork every now and then and check in. Okay. Never mind the map on the wall, the groundskeeper has it. Gonna make sure that my retail business is taken care of. And this is my family side thing, whatever. And credits. I don't think that I would have messed around with that. It seemed to be an accident in the first place, right? That got him rolling on the idea that people are going to die because of it. If you think about that, it's like, what an unfortunate accident that he actually stuck the pin in the one guy who was going to get capped next.
Yeah.
Unless he hadn't done that,
Yeah, unless that's when groundskeeper Willie looked up from his deep fried pizza and was like, I've got an idea.
Oh no, not groundskeeper Willie. Oh my God.
It's been there the whole time.
And nobody grabbed it until now. It took us 3 hours to get to the groundskeeper Willie joke. Oh,
black pins and white pins are natural enemies, like graves and pens, and headstones and pens, and pins and other pens. Damn pens. They ruined the graveyard.
That was good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was hanging there the whole time and we didn't take it. Damn.
See, if it were me, I just would have made friends with the map and been fine with it. But I'm built different. I understand. Not everyone can be like me. But yeah, that my God, we did it. Hold on. Sorry. All right, there we go. Okay, we did it, guys. We made it through. An episode of it came from the public domain, and nobody died except for the people in the film. But that's the idea here. That's what we're doing. I want to again.
Were there any mortals? Oh wait, you're talking about chat. Never mind.
What?
There were really no mortals alive to begin with.
Oh, not here. No. But, well, yeah, that's actually no. You're not actually.
Okay.
That's all me. But you're so right. Well, I don't think anyone in chat died. As far as I know, you guys okay
chat,
over there?
Are you alive?
Are you okay?
Chat?
Yeah, I think they're okay. They're saying things like clap and LOL. So, oh no, somebody said no, they're not okay. Okay, well, I guess one person might have died, but that's the cost of doing business these days.
We'll put a white pin in your slot. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll get right back up. Be just fine. You might be a little stiff in the morning, but it'll be okay. But first off, chat, I want to thank you guys for taking a chance on a couple of random little puppets and your friend here and coming and hanging out. We had a great time. You were a lot of fun. Spooky, I want to thank you for coming on. This was a whole lot of fun. I want to thank you for getting involved and shooting the shit with me. Nick, I want to thank you for coming along and bringing a wonderful audience along with you. Graphy in the chat over there, I want to thank you for the Wicked Raid. That was awesome. This has been great. I've been Lucy. That's been Spooky. That's been Nick. You guys want to plug anything? I mean, most of the people here are here from you, Nick, so they know where you're at. But Spooky, you want to plug anything?
Leave a bunch of rotten fish on your lawn.
You heard it here, folks. Spooky J. Weaselbones 2024. Leave a lot of rotten fish on your lawn. I've been Lucy Ball. You've been wonderful. And this has been It Came from the Public Domain. We'll do a little wrap up by ourselves here, guys, but I'm going to kick you out now. Goodbye. Goodbye. And for me, everybody, holy shit. Goodbye, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed your time, and I'm trying to cue up my ending, so I'm vamping. There we go. Later!
From the public domain.
A nightmare of terror. A 100-foot spider.
To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It is a